I don't care about Hook. I don't give a damn about Taz's freaking son. And Taz on the mic.
I do. I'm a hooker. I'm a hooker.
Good for you,
I'm a fan of Hook.
I cannot stand Hook.
Look at the hookers. Look at the hookers in the chat. The hookers are here. The hookers, yes. The hookers are here.
He looks like
Mr. Potato Head.
He looks like Rufio from Hook.
If he was to be like a guest star in like a Vampire Diaries reboot, would be all in.
And yes, I did want to mention this to Jared, that 72% of our fans voting in the Tru Heel Heat in chat poll say yes, they are hookers.
Look, y'all like what you like, I guess, but holy hell.
It's not giving me any type of excitement. I watch because I am a fan, and we do this podcast, but I'm just not excited to see their product like we used to be. You understand?
Nothing on NXT excites me.
Yo, please send that to me.
And we got MJF. You call her Melanie, I call her Methany. Oh my. And EBB saying that Hook heard what you said. It hacked you, Jared.
Oh no! Wow.
Oh, your wrestling fans, friends, and family.
Yo, I'm just saying.
Always a good time here on the Tru Heel Heat weekly podcast. Every Saturday morning, we are back at it again for Tru Heel Heat 143. And what a week it was. Big E is your new WWE champion. We got AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, AEW Rampage Grand Slam. The Tru Heel Heat gang will be there live in Queens, New York this coming Wednesday. But there's a whole bunch of big stuff going on. Dark Side of the Ring, the plane ride from hell, and ramifications coming from that. It's a huge episode this Saturday. So, producer, hit the intro. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 143 Grand Rebrand, History from Hell. And when we talk about the latest news, you'll know why that's the title there. We're going to be talking about the latest wrestling news, including the fallout from Dark Side of the Ring, the plane ride from hell episode, with Impact Wrestling suspending Tommy Dreamer, and what it means for Ric Flair and chances of signing with AEW. Big E winning the WWE Championship and how plans came about for that. Recap of SmackDown, AEW Rampage, AEW Dynamite, the grand rebrand of NXT with NXT 2.0, Impact on Access TV, WWE Raw, ROH with Death Before Dishonor. It was night one of the G1 Climax this morning. You had GCW last night. Preview and predictions for the rest of the G1 Climax 31 tournament, Impact Wrestling Victory Road, and of course, the big show this coming Wednesday, AEW Dynamite / Rampage Grand Slam, plus much, much more. I am back once again with the beautiful, the lovely, the princess and first lady of the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Love.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? I'm so excited for this jam-packed show today.
As always, looking very lovely on a Saturday morning. And we have a special guest with us. Of course, one of our hosts has to be on CP time every week. So Top Guy JJ will be coming very soon. But we replace one Justin with another Justin. And he is a face you should remember from past episodes of Tru Heel Heat. We've had him on a few times, a very important episodes right after like the Speaking Out movement. We had him on a couple of times after that. I was his co-host on the Wrestling Travel podcast. He is the man behind the mic, the interview extraordinaire for Wrestling Travel. He is a former pro wrestler, a avid wrestling historian. He is Justin Clapper.
Hey.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm really glad to be back here. But I would trade that awesome introduction if I just had somebody going, hey, I'm as good looking as somebody like Krssi Love. But I'll take all the wrestling accolades. And
Thank you.
You guys like it's like you went from on air antenna to digital. Like you got intros, everything is looking fantastic.
We upgraded a bit. You were in the pre-tape pandemic era of us pre-taping on Thursdays. Now we go live every Saturday. So we had to bring you back on. You're one of our favorites, our favorite people to talk about pro wrestling. You always put us over very nicely. We did our first interview as a podcast trio with you, Justin. So we had to bring you back on, good brother.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm excited. Like I said, it's been too long, and we haven't even talked like off camera, so it's gonna be a big homecoming.
Absolutely. And I try my best to do introductions, but we have a bunch of new subscribers to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. So for anyone who doesn't remember you from past episodes of Tru Heel Heat, tell them a little bit about yourself for everyone new joining us.
Well, it's looking like 24 years in the business right now. So I know some of you guys haven't even been alive that long. So obviously, Krssi Love is just 21 now.
Thanks, friend.
So, and I've been working with a fantastic company out of Manchester, England, called Wrestling Travel. We bring fans from all over the world to their favorite wrestling destinations, be it AEW, WrestleMania. We took a little hit the last year and a half, but I think the whole world did, the travel industry. I am also been starting on my side of the pond, the Pro Wrestling Show, and you can see that my debut episode. I wanted to get it out this week, but basically I do the lockdown sessions on Wrestling Travel, now called Unlocked, because I wanted to get away from the connotations behind the lockdown sessions. Plus, Sir Elton John is releasing an album called The Lockdown Sessions. He called me and asked for permission, of course.
Oh, of course.
I said, you know what? You go ahead, Elton. I'll change it to Unlocked. My first episode was with the Drama King, Matthew Raywald. You can catch that on Wrestling Travel's YouTube. But I've done the Pro Wrestling Show, and what I've done over here is try to do everything that I've tried to do with Wrestling Travel, just on a scale where I can control it. Interviews. I want to do some reviews of older shows. I just have been sponsoring, as yourselves, Warrior Wrestling, PPW here in Pennsylvania. I'm in Pennsylvania for another 4 weeks. I've been on the East Coast for a while. Helped bring Rachel Ellering and Casey Lennox into a great independent organization. And all I really want to do is, now that I'm old and out of shape, I want to be able to help the sport and leave it better than where it's been. So check me out at JC Pro Wrestle on your Twitter. And my TikTok has blown up for some reason. No idea why, but I'll take it. And at wrestlingtravel.com now. No more .org, SP3. You'll be happy. We've moved into a different generation as well. So
loving it, loving the upgrades, the changes going on. You're doing big things. That's what I love to hear for one of our favorite guest hosts that we've had on the show. As per usual, for everyone watching, you can drop a like on this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content that we got here. Daily content, daily live streams going on, especially the rest of this week. And of course, for everyone watching live, leave your thoughts in the live chat. We got the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, here with us in the live chat. We got Frantic World here with us in the live chat. So we want to hear from you guys. And of course, your super chat donations are always appreciated. We try to get to all of your comments in the live chat, but to make sure we highlight your hot take, your opinion, or if you have a question for anyone on the panel this episode, you can send us a super chat donation, $1 or more, and we will highlight your comment. And like I said, we had a fourth member of the team this time, from one Justin to another. It is the resident Tru Heel alcoholic himself, Top Guy JJ.
What's going on? What's going on, fellas?
Hey, boo.
Justin, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy, good to see you.
You out here getting younger in these streets?
Right?
I'm hoping.
I'm just saying, it look like you got to redo with the hair. You got the guns out. I see
Yeah.
I wanted to say sun's out, guns out, but there's the sun's creeping in. But man, I'll tell you what, it's if you ever get to be a fat guy like me, once you go sleeveless, man, it's tough to go back. So.
Hey, I got my dad bod working out, so don't worry. I'm trying to catch up. I got the 1-year-olds to getting bigger, so it makes it harder to get to the gym. So I'm working on my dad bod myself, JC. So yes, guns out for JC. We got Top Guy. We got Miss Krssi Love here. We got all of you in the live chat joining us. So let's get to it. Of course, this episode of Tru Heel Heat is brought to you by, like Justin said, our friends over at Warrior Wrestling, as well as Power 4 TV. Of course, you can get 50% off of your first month for Power 4 TV by using the promo code SP3. And we like to start off with announcements and the Tru Heel roll call. So I will first put the announcements. We go from, we've had a hot streak of guests. You are part of a hot streak of guests, Justin. We had last week Jarrett Bailey of Sports Illustrated. We had the week before that Miss Dynamite herself, Stephanie Chase, as well as Benno from Post Wrestling. The week before that, we had Alex McCarthy of Wrestling Daily and Talk Sport. The week before that, we had the Distraction podcast of Jeremy and Joseph Holbert. But I think we are ending September hot, as we have another interview extraordinaire next Saturday right here on the Tru Heel Heat Weekly Podcast, as none other than Chris Van Vliet will be joining us on Tru Heel Heat 144. The interview extraordinaire, the Emmy Award winner, Chris Van Vliet, is going to be joining us. The producer was supposed to take this cue to put up the poster, but I'll do it myself. And there it is. There it is. Chris Van Vliet's gonna be joining us on Tru Heel Heat 144, and then to follow up from Chris Van Vliet next week right here on Tru Heel Heat, we got Tru Heel Heat 145, the first Tru Heel Heat of October. And we have a bona fide wrestling legend, Dutch Mantel, aka Zeb Coulter, Uncle Zebediah. We the people will be joining us. So Chris Van Vliet next week, then Dutch Mantel in 2 weeks, and we are continuing on a hot streak of very, very special guests for the Tru Heel Heat Weekly Podcast. So we got big stuff coming on the way. So now is the time to hit the subscribe button, become a part of the movement, and of course, get into all these shows and join us live for our weekly podcast every single Saturday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern time. And of course, we do this for you guys, the subscribers and supporters of Tru Heel Heat. So we got to start off with the Tru Heel roll call. Our top 3 conversation starters on the Tru Heel's Facebook group page. Coming in at number 3 is Jessica V. Coming in at number 2 is Austin Hartsfield Brown. And coming in at number 1, he's in the live chat, and he's always number 1 in our hearts, the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. Continuing the Goldberg-like streak, the 173 weeks. Tru Heels that we got to shout out: James Wims, Mark Hernandez, Aaron Brown, Anika Wilson, and EBB. Our YouTube subscriber highlight, we got Ismail Gutierrez saying, "Good job, guys, helping me get back into wrestling." He commented that on this week's Blunt Impact. And Jameer Moore commented on our Dark Side of the Ring, the Plane Ride from Hell review, and he said, "Great review. I recall Kurt Angle saying Vince was in front of the plane, drunk from wine, trying to fight and wrestle him. Taker choked Angle out because he woke up and saw Kurt had Vince in a lock and thought it was real." I'm not sure if that was the same flight, but I do remember there was a story of Vince and Kurt Angle fighting on or play wrestling on a plane ride. But that is a perfect segue, Miss Krssi Love. We talked about the the episode yesterday right here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. You could definitely check that out once the stream is done. But we got to go to our top news story. Dark Side of the Ring, the plane ride from hell fallout with Tommy Dreamer getting suspended from Impact Wrestling, and what consequences will come to Ric Flair or already has come. Thursday's episode of Dark Side of the Ring spoke about the plane ride from hell, a flight from the UK to the United States in May 2002, which featured a lot of crazy events. After the episode aired, Ric Flair and Tommy Dreamer were trending on Twitter. In the episode, it was revealed Flair allegedly forced a flight attendant to touch his genitals. Heidi Doyle, the flight attendant, said she didn't believe that Flair intended to rape her, but in any event, the event was still sexual assault. Rob Van Dam backed Doyle's claims. Dreamer at various points in the broadcast defended Flair's actions, which brought him a lot of negative attention from those who watch via social media. He said, and I quote, "He could move his hips, twirl it, and so his well-endowed penis spins around like a helicopter. So hey, he's the nature boy for a reason. He's got a hammer on him." Ric Flair's not going to try to impose by force any sexual stuff onto anybody. He's just flaunting, styling, and profiling, doing the Ric Flair stuff where everybody's going to laugh about it. But obviously someone took offense to it. If that's how she felt, maybe she should have not taken a payout and went to the full extent of the law to then truly put this heinous person in jail. My opinion, I feel this is trying to portray someone as a sexual predator, and it's not. It's a joke. It's a gag. Today, it's 1000% inappropriate. My hairstyle is inappropriate right now.
Right.
I'm somehow offending someone right now with my double ponytail. How dare I have two ponytail? My answer is I'm 50 years old and I'm happy I have hair. If you're asking me, I've hung out with Ric Flair and I've never seen him try to force his will onto anyone. FIFO reported that Dreamer is not present at yesterday's Impact Wrestling tapings in Nashville. Staff were informed of the news during a production meeting. It is unknown what his role will be in the company going forward, but he had been working on executive and creative side. And then PW Insider, just hours after that, reported that Impact Wrestling's Ed Nordum sent an email to various outlets and to the roster and staff announcing that Tommy Dreamer had been suspended indefinitely. He said that Dreamer's comments on Dark Side of the Ring were out of line with our core values, and he added that Dreamer was asked to leave effective immediately from yesterday's TV tapings. Finally, it noted that if anyone had questions to ask him, Gail Kim, or Scott D'Amore. Tommy Dreamer has yet to comment on the news, but on the other hand, Ric Flair, he did publicly address this episode before on a previous episode of Renee Young's podcast, but then Ric Flair has not publicly addressed the allegations since the episode, but many fans have speculated that the widespread belief that Ric Flair would be signing with All Elite Wrestling may be completely off the table now. Tony Khan has been very conscious to not sign and stay clear of various controversial figures in wrestling, whether it be Tessa Blanchard, Hulk Hogan, or his wife, Linda Hogan. So it would be unwise to sign Ric Flair at this time. Also, PW Insider reported yesterday evening that Ric Flair's Car Shield commercials have now been paused and pulled from various outlets following this Dark Side of the Ring episode. So we'll start with Justin, our special guest here. What were your thoughts on the comments made by Tommy Dreamer about Ric Flair's alleged actions on the plane ride from hell?
Well, I woke up to the trending on Twitter, and I got to be honest, I did not realize that the Dark Side of the Ring was continuing. And as I read deeper into everything, what can you say? Obviously, to go out and defend the actions, everything is a different time now, but it's never any excuse. So, I wanted to see you reading that right there was the first time I heard the entire quote. I saw a clip, and there was never going to be any excuse for it, but I was waiting to find out if somehow through tricky editing is how we got what we got. But I think Impact has taken the only step that you can take in a situation like you got to distance yourself from those type of comments and that type of behavior. And part of me wants to say you have to distance yourself from those type of comments and that type of behavior in 2021, when the truth is you always should have distanced yourself from that type of behavior and those type of comments. And it's tough. One of the things, I'm a huge fan of pro wrestling. I'm a huge fan of the Green Bay Packers. I've always held in I don't really want to know too much about what people do outside of the camera, because I'm always often than not going to be let down.
Yep.
When I see scandals on another team, the only thing I can think is, man, I like player X, Y, and Z. I don't want to meet him. I don't want to. And unfortunately, it is what we have here. And I don't know, really, basically based off that statement, and I kind of turn the question back to you, is there a recovery from that for Tommy Dreamer? I don't think there is.
I mean, in my opinion, it's going to take an apology, and, you know, asking for forgiveness and realizing accountability, realizing what he did, what he said was wrong, that you shouldn't be victim shaming the way he did, and coming to the defense of someone who has such allegations. Like, regardless of what your opinion of him is, when you put your Tommy Dreamer's comments next to the testimonial of Heidi Doyle, it just makes it sound and look just even worse than it would on its own. And I think that Heidi Doyle showed a lot of courage in saying her testimony. So I am always going to be in support of someone who is, you can tell, experience something, whether you want to believe the allegations 100% or not. The fact, I said it with Krssi when we did our review, the fact that she took 2 sittings, where usually Dark Side of the Ring, and I confirmed this with Dutch Mantel last night, that Dark Side of the Ring, you usually tell your story or testimonial in 1 sitting. The fact that it took 2 sittings for her, you can tell this is still something that deeply affects her, and this is why it came off very genuine with everything that she was saying. Top Guy JJ, you haven't got a chance to comment on the Dark Side of the Ring plane ride from Amell episode. What was your thoughts on the episode and the actions taken against Tommy Dreamer?
Well, first of all, very, very powerful episode. That is something that, you know, you can't make this stuff up when they make stories like this. It's not something you could fabricate or use your imagination and use your thought process to spew these things out. Oh my God. Like, I can only feel the way I feel about for Heidi, man. Like, to deal with that, and they're at your job, and they basically just violated pretty much your life, your privacy, your well-being, your mental, and all of this stuff. Like, if anybody that is sitting here thinking that she is making this up, if that is anybody, fuck you. Like, that, if that's anybody, like, why would somebody like her that is married with a family waste time fabricating something like this? That is just, it just blows my mind. That, like, that's why it makes Tommy Dreamer look so stupid. Like, this makes him look like one of the dumbest old heads in the wrestling game that has ever surfaced on television and public speaking. He literally defended Ric Flair like that was his dad or his older brother. Like, he literally went to the stand for Ric Flair. Like, yo, and what's funny about all of this is that as bad, Tommy Dreamer's comments and what he's done was that bad, it's essentially still giving Ric Flair a pass. Like, it's still, like, we're still not even highlighting the person that did all this heinous shit. Like, we're not even circling on that. We're still circling on the person that is defending it. Like, so there's a plane ride full of people. How many of these people attempted to stop it? How many? After minutes and minutes and minutes. I hear it was Dustin, apparently. She remembered Gold Dust after a few minutes.
Yep.
But you got a plane ride full of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
A plane ride full of dudes, bosses, athletes. I'm pretty sure every single one of them weren't drunk. I'm pretty sure a couple of them were just sitting there, just probably in shock and awe. But come on, stop this.
Yep.
Like, clearly this woman doesn't want anything to do with any of this. She's just here to do her job. She's literally on an 8-hour job with a bunch of fucking drunks. Like, it was a damning episode. It was a damning episode to see. Like, props. Like, I don't even think props for Heidi is enough. Like, the amount of courage that it takes for a woman to spew all of that truthfully, and as you said, it took her multiple outings to do this. It's incredible strength, man. It's incredible strength that women have the courage to say these things and expose the truth in 2021. Because if this happened 15 years ago, we still would not have heard this story. This story would have still not surfaced. So props to Heidi for it. But I mean, if you want to put your fingers on Tommy Dreamer from any promotion or any company, you're partially defending these actions now too.
Yeah, Miss Krssi Love, what's your thoughts on the actions taken against Tommy Dreamer from Impact Wrestling, suspending him very quickly? Like, it came out on Thursday and this happened on Friday.
When we were doing this yesterday, we figured that something was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to be this fast, but props to them, because now they have to do damage control. And unfortunately now he said what he said. And I don't think there's really any backtracking it. You're going to have to most likely apologize. And I don't even know if you can apologize to clean it up clearly, because you meant everything you said on that episode. You meant everything. And you apologizing is cool, but I'm not going to really buy it. I think you're just apologizing just to apologize, to clean it up now. And kudos to them for taking initiative and like, you know what? They suspended him. Like, they didn't really like fire him. So he'll probably come back. He'll probably like let him, but right now, I guess they're like, you're bad for the business right now. You need to, have a seat, go stay home, which he should have been stayed home by, we've been saying this for the longest. Like, why is Tommy Dreamer even coming? So.
Yeah, for other reasons, but this is more of a valid reason. And I would love to give Dustin props for getting Heidi Doyle, getting Ric Flair away from Heidi Doyle. But there is other flight attendants that were on the flight that did file lawsuits against WWE, and one of the alleged assault abusers was Dustin Rhodes. So he's not someone that I could say that deserves.
He was
any
definitely
type
one of the people. Yeah, that was
yeah.
And if anybody giving props to Dustin, it's like, it's kind of no. This was like a default move. Like, this is not something that he did seconds in. He took a while to finally step in. Like, this is like, you're watching this shit play out, and then you kind of like, this is too far.
I'm just saying he himself has been accused of being an abuser on the flight. That's why I'm not saying for him waiting so long or anything like that. I'm saying that he's also an alleged abuser, so he doesn't deserve any type of praise for choosing to step in for anybody else during that. Justin, do you think that AEW will sign Ric Flair following the backlash from this Dark Side of the Ring episode?
They definitely should not. They definitely, listening to this, I will backtrack a little bit. Listening to Heidi was tough. It was a tough listen.
And it really was. It really was.
Yes, it was. Oh
my God, I've watched a lot of shows where alleged victims of whatever talk, and it's nothing hit me as hard as when she was talking. So, like you say, JJ, if anybody says she's saying this for whatever reason, can't connect emotionally with that testimony. But the fact, the question is, I don't think anybody should touch it. Now, my point of, I don't want to meet my heroes, because now you can't take away from, you can take a lot away.
I love when RVD said that, by the way.
What's that?
I love when RVD said that during the show.
Yeah. When you see somebody can have a stellar playing career, but be an absolute piece of shit that we don't know about. So, you can take away from that. But I'm just saying, he's gotten a pass for a long time, and it's time and I'm always seem to be on these episodes with you guys when it was the speaking out movement.
It is. It always is an episode that you're with us on.
Yes, yeah.
And I talked about when we used to say protect the business. And it meant something different than what I said it should mean something in speaking out. We still need to protect the business from stuff. The good old boy generation can't get a pass for this behavior. Okay. And as the lights go out here in Pennsylvania. But my question is, definitely stay away from them. But I'm trying to still rethink of the words that Tommy Dreamer said. He put her hand on his junk, and then the quote was, "It's a joke," and obviously somebody didn't think it was funny.
Bro.
Find anybody that you know that
it makes you cringe. Like it makes you
like a married fucking woman, bro. A married woman with a family. She's not some chick that they bought on this plane. Like they didn't hire her to strip for them or to do any activities for them. She's doing her job. Like it's crazy that that shit happened, yo.
Right. And I think back to my younger years, any year where I may have had a few too many drinks and have gone out and embarrassed myself. Nothing like this. But you wake up that next morning feeling and you're like, oh, did I do that? I don't remember. And you feel terrible. Some people obviously don't have that feeling the next day. Or you just keep doing and doing. And
that's a good analysis. That's really good.
I've had that feeling and I haven't even done anything wrong. I feel like, man, guilty and this and that. But some people are missing that, obviously, and there's no room for it. There was no room for it in 2002. There's no room for it now.
And three of the main people that were accused of stuff, either, you had Ric Flair, who said there's no truth to the allegations. You had Scott Hall, who said he had no recollection of the plane ride. You had Brock Lesnar, who didn't send any comment. I have a comment here from Ninja Mortis who says, I think they got to let Dustin go too. That's the difference between Dustin and all these other people. He kind of admitted to what he did wrong and kind of credited it to his substance abuse at the time, and he's taken the time over the last 19 years to recover from that, go through drug rehabilitation. So just because it's new information to us, I think that's not the right way to think about it, that AEW needs to let him go. He is one of the few that kind of admitted to his faults during this plane ride from hell. They might have not highlighted it on Dark Side of the Ring, and I think Dark Side of the Ring does an exceptional job of highlighting anyone who needed to be highlighted, but I think there's a reason why they didn't highlight what Dustin did too much, because he has admitted and come out and he dealt with it legally with the lawsuit that was filed against him by the other flight attendants. So I think where you can't paint everybody into the same little box as the Ric Flairs of the world.
Based on if you go back however long ago went, but Sammy Guevara's comments on Sasha Banks and the stand that Tony Khan and AEW took. How can you now defend signing Ric Flair if some company has to, and Tony Khan can be the one that goes, we're not putting up with this. Something comes up, we're dealing with it. I know that opens up a whole box of worms, a whole can of worms, not a box. Who buys a box of worms? But you have to take a stand like Impact did. Like hopefully AEW does, and say, hey, you know what? This is a whole new. No, we're not putting up with it. If you did this in the past, we can't deal with it. We've got enough talent and enough reach that why would we put up with that? But like I said, I base it back with Sammy getting the suspension and counseling. How can you continue to go on with Ric Flair? And it's hard to say, because it's hard. Like you guys, you're a fan of these guys for so long. When somebody passes away, it hurts us because we feel like we knew him. And it's not like a lot of this behavior was swept under the rug. We kind of knew about it, but I'm such a fan. He's been there for so long. So, nothing like the victims, but it sucks for us too.
We got Chris G in the live chat here saying, "Do
bro?
y'all believe more stories like this will come out that include Flair now that this one is out in the open?" I think surely there's gonna probably be more because, like I said, you could check out over on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel. Me and Dutch Mantel talked about this episode, and he has said like Ric Flair has a history of doing the robe thing and being a little bit inappropriate with people outside of the wrestling business that he probably shouldn't have. So he wasn't surprised by these allegations. So there's a lot to unpack from this episode, and I think we're going to keep seeing more ramifications from it. And of course, Chris G had to put in a joke as well. He says, according to my sources, Flair is signed to manage Paul Crew in the New Mexico State Pen.
Oh God, really?
Oh man,
really?
Let me ask
Paul Crew. Damn, we already going a couple episodes ahead of time.
Yep. We're going in time since we promoted 2 weeks in advance. Tru Heel Heat 146, the plane from the plane ride from hell.
I was gonna say, when you were telling me the guests that you've had and the guests that you have coming up, I really hope that I'm not the ratings dip in this whole thing, because you get Dirty Dutch and you got one of the guys I love, Chris Van Vliet, coming on next week. But back to what we're talking about, because you guys cover everything, has Shane Douglas made any public comments since the plane ride from hell?
No, he wasn't really addressed in the episode from Dark Side of the Ring. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting what other people have to say. They got comments from Sean Waltman from a previous podcast. He has a weekly podcast, so it should be interesting what he has to say. I don't know what Busted Open Radio is gonna do because Tommy Dreamer is a contributor for them. That's what I was waiting for. I told Krssi Love yesterday that I was like, what is he gonna say the first time he's on Busted Open Radio to address his comments? So there's a lot to unpack from this, but we want to thank everybody for giving your thoughts in the live chat. You guys are coming in hot and heavy. Remember to drop a like on this video, share this video on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and we try to get to all of your comments, highlight them in some way, but a super chat donation confirms that we will highlight and answer any questions or talk about any hot takes that you have on the plane ride from hell or our other top news story, which has all to do with a little bit of a brighter note. Someone good in the industry getting their just due of Big E winning the WWE Championship on Monday Night Raw in a change of plans all over the WWE universe, as according to several sources. WWE announced on last Friday that the planned WWE Championship match for Extreme Rules between Bobby Lashley and Randy Orton was moved to Raw. Then on Monday, hours before the show, Big E confirmed on Twitter that he intended on cashing in his Money in the Bank and win the WWE Championship. On the show, Bobby Lashley defeated Randy Orton to retain the WWE Championship, but he attacked Riddle and Orton after the match, putting Orton through a table and injuring his knee. Big E came down as he said he was intending to do, to cash in, and defeated Lashley to win and become the fourth African-American WWE champion in history, to an enormous pop from the Boston crowd. Fightful learned a lot more about the plans for Big E and the WWE title that came to fruition. Their WWE sources told Fightful in the days following Big E's huge title win, stated that almost everyone was of the belief that Big E would win the title when he won Money in the Bank. But it had been talked about being a reality very early on during his Money in the Bank reign. Andrew Zarian of the Matman podcast had even mentioned originally it was supposed to happen on the draft, which is coming up very shortly in 2 weeks' time. Fightful has confirmed that those plans picked up over last weekend after the Madison Madison Square Garden SmackDown when Orton versus Lashley match was moved up to Monday. WWE firmed up plans on Saturday to bring Big E to Raw, but the creative was kept close to the vest until Monday. At that point, Big E was informed he'd be cashing in the Money in the Bank to win the WWE title. This isn't out of the ordinary, of course. Nikki ASH told Fightful in a recent interview that it was the same case for her. Much of the roster stuck around to watch the match and the title change unfold, which is uncharacteristic as many of the talent leave before the show goes off the air. And we're told there was seemingly universal elation for Big E, as many would expect. He's one of the most beloved members of the roster, and he even got a lot of love on social media from various outlets, from various analysts, as well as other wrestlers from other companies. In an interview with Bleacher Report, Big E described the backstage reaction and when he found out about the title reign. On the scene backstage after the title win, he said, and I quote, "It was beautiful. It's late. It's after 11 p.m. By the time I'm done gland handling and thanking everyone at ringside, it was probably almost 11:30 p.m. But Gorilla was still almost full with people there, talent and producers and so many people. It's awesome getting love from your peers, people who are great at their craft and work hard too." Big E also commented on finding out about his title win, and he said, and I quote, "When I started this loop, my intention was that I was supposed to be home Monday morning after the live event Sunday, and I realized I was going to Raw last minute. That was a bit of a last minute decision. There was also the option of maybe I go out there and do some teasing and come back later when it's time to actually cash in, or go back to SmackDown and cash in there. I wasn't really sure. It was on the afternoon that day decision was made, and it was already very, very quickly. For me, it was definitely not something that was set in stone days and days ahead." So, Justin, what was your reaction on Big E winning the WWE Championship on Monday Night Raw?
Man, I'm over the moon about this. I mean, I don't know. Have any of you three had a chance to be in the same room with Big E?
Oh,
No, not yet.
Magic.
He is incredible. Great guy. Great with you want to put the title on somebody that's going to represent that company fantastically. Now, that's not a knock on anybody before him, but talk about somebody who has a personality and somebody that you're going to put on a radio station, you're going to put at an appearance, and he's going to show up and represent your company well. Not only that, one of the hardest workers in the locker room, and as you said, one of the best loved people in the locker room. I was just excited, and this is, for me, it's overdue because he's just a tremendous entertainer and athlete. And just a little short plug, my colleague who runs social media for Wrestling Travel, him and I were in the same room with Big E when his wife was pregnant, and he said, "Hey, after we got done, can you give my wife a little encouragement?" So at Joe Biamonte, Wrestling Travel social media guru, there is a great video. I'll share it on my Twitter again for everybody to check it out, of Big E just being Big E. And I think you've got the title in the right hands. Now let's, with all the other things going on in WWE as far as character development, storylines, now we got a guy in the driver's seat. Let's see what they can do with it. But I'm happy.
So, Miss Krssi Love, what was your reaction to Big E winning? Did you watch it live, or how did you find out about it?
I watched it live because it was something for me to watch Raw for. So I figured I actually tuned in at the perfect time. I tuned in right when the commercial came back because I'm like, oh, I missed it. But I was happy. I just wish that they didn't tease it on Twitter. I like the suspense and surprise of how Money in the Bank, when they cash it in. But, once you say you're going to do it, more than likely you're probably going to win. So, but I was very, very happy for Biggie. Well deserved. And I just love the praise. Like, you got to give your flowers to people that when they're around, and everyone is giving him his flowers now, which is really, really beautiful from across all platforms. And just shows you like these people are friends and they're, colleagues, even if they don't work together every day or see each other all the time. Give people where it's due. And I think that is definitely one good thing about Big E, and just shows his character and just shows who he is. And he's always I've seen him plenty of times, and he's just a gem. I haven't met him personally, but well deserving. I just hope that they give him a good run, give him a good 100 days or so or whatever. Let him do this well.
Yes, for sure. We had Chris G with a comment saying, send those super chats, y'all. I need cat food. And there you go. People listen to Chris G. Ninja Mortis with a super chat donation saying, ew, Chris, you eat cat food. Great comment, great response to Chris G. Yes, when he's high and desperate, yes, he eats cat food. And we even got Follow B with cat food money for you. See, I love the Tru Heel Heat community. Always
Hilarious.
On the dime with those super chat donations at perfect timing. Top Guy JJ, do you believe that WWE has a long-term plan for Big E as WWE champion?
No, they don't at all. They have no idea what they're about to do with this title reign. But this, as you see, I might be in a minority on this, but when he announced that, when he did that tweet, and I fucking elated. I loved it.
Really?
I loved it.
Really?
Why? Because it finally gave me a reason to watch Monday Night Raw.
Oh, okay.
Like, I have not had a reason to watch Monday Night Raw in 18 months. So to actually say, oh shit, and Big E doesn't do a lot of social media shit like that. He doesn't talk shit like that on social media. So for him to put his cards out there, it's like he's definitely gonna be there. So this is actually a chance that something is gonna happen. But it was an even better job that they actually pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Because meeting Big E and hanging out with Big E, like I was gonna send the Tru Heel Heat chat to see they'll see the message out there real quick. But meeting Big E was like one of the funnest shits that we've ever. Like, Big E is such a fucking cool guy. He literally takes time to acknowledge everybody that actually is there to talk to him. Whether it's 30, he's that kind of dude. So if he's like that to us, you can imagine how he's like backstage. Like, he must be a fucking joy to hang out with backstage. Like, he must be that kind of guy. So it's obviously when they pull a trigger on somebody that busts his ass like that, it's like, yo, this is like Christmas come early for us. Like, that it was such an amazing thing to finally see for Big E, man, because we knew that Big E had this type of talent, and it was like,
great picture.
WWE, yeah, them pictures were awesome, yo. Those pictures, how it started, how it ended, like I all that shit. That shit was fucking fire, yo. Fire, and same positions and everything. Like, they know, yo, New Day is the shit. Like, New Day
I love those guys. Those guys,
like, they breathe life. The positive life, and that power of positivity as real as it gets, yo. These dudes have been doing this for the past 9 years, like, well, 7 years at least, and they have just been at the top of the game. And to see Big E get this adulation, it's just awesome. Like, this is so awesome to see, man.
Yes, beautiful stuff. My final question about Big E winning the title for all of you guys. We'll start with Justin. What do you want to see? Who do you want to see Big E face and defend the WWE Championship against on Monday Night Raw?
You ready for me to get booed?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Goldberg. No, I'm joking.
Hey, that's his dream match. That's his dream match, to be
is
fair.
it really?
No. Big E has a great clip on the New Day podcast where he says he was like, I understand some fans. They want their 5-star classics. They want their 30-minute epics. Bump that. I want big meaty men slapping meat. Give me Goldberg. You know what's my dream match? New Day versus 3 Goldbergs. That's what I want. I want big men slapping meat. Bump that. Yes, great. It's one.
I thought you were going to boo me there. I can't believe you're down with that. That's why I was protected. I should have just went with it. But
yeah, yo, man, this is Tru Heel Heat, man.
I would say, keep your energy. If you want that, that's what you want. Now, if I don't like it, then that's something different. But
yeah, you'll definitely know.
What about Big E versus Keith Lee? And they're I'm not.
If they let Keith Lee out.
I was going to say, I'm not up on who's cut or who can wrestle or whatever, but there was a lot of I think that give him a chance, and he can. He's the kind of guy that can elevate anybody that he's with. So, give me Goldberg before he's out. I'd like to see, based on strictly on those comments,
You're next.
what those guys can do. So I'm interested to hear what everybody else says.
We got a comment here from Ninja Mortis saying, folk helped me out when I was broke to help my dog, so I gotta pay it forward. Plus I watch y'all frequently. I'm broke, but I support when I can. We always appreciate any little bit matters here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, and it's greatly appreciated. It helps out the channel a lot, helps us do more live streams like this, so we always appreciate that, Ninja Mortis. How about you, Top Guy JJ? Who do you want to see Big E face on Monday Night Raw?
Oh man, I want to see. We've seen it before, but I would like to see a revitalized version of him and Sheamus. I don't mind. I don't mind seeing, because Big E can match physicality with anybody. So I just love that he's so versatile at what he can do. Even a match with him and AJ Styles would be amazing. Like,
I was gonna say
AJ
Styles.
He's that versatile that he can have matches with all of these types of guys, and he will put on a show with pretty much anybody.
What about you, Krssi Love?
I was gonna say AJ for sure. Definitely want to see AJ.
Top Guy J. I asked for one person. Top Guy JJ has to take your answer too.
Yo, it's happy times.
Oh, okay. So I'll pick a different one. But that was going to be my answer, which was AJ Styles. Bro. I wouldn't be mad if Big E was to go against Drew McIntyre. Even though we've seen Drew like forever, he's been pushed down our throats with the damn sword. Or he can go against Randy Orton as well.
There you go. That's a good one.
I can pick Kevin Owens. I mean, where is Kevin Owens? Is he on SmackDown?
Kevin Owens is on SmackDown.
Okay, well then fine. But I wouldn't be mad at that one either, though.
Those are definitely some good ones. We got a super chat donation from Nick Jackson saying Big E versus AJ Styles. Give me what I want. Definitely AJ would be at the top of my list. I would go with Riddle to be different from everybody else. Riddle has been the MVP of Monday Night Raw for a long time, and I believe that this guy Big E is going to probably take his spot as the MVP of the show. So definitely, and a regular like long form match with Bobby Lashley, I think, is in the running.
Yes,
and I think that Bobby Lashley deserves his flowers for what was a great title reign. I feel like too many people, because we love Big E, they kind of overshadowed the point that Bobby Lashley was he was a great WWE champion to lead into Big E winning it. I saw people saying my champion is black now, and it's like, no, you've had a black champion for 6 months. Like, what are you talking about? And then that hurts the cause and the process of diversity and representation when you just ignore or just brush over someone like Bobby Lashley.
And we were so excited when Bobby Lashley finally won, and he was like, "Don't take the belt off of him. Let him do his run." I think he did a great run. Him and MVP were great. They were the reason. I mean, they weren't the reason for Raw's foolishness, but they were having people watch Raw for him to defend his title, and I think he did an impeccable job. Shout out to both him and MVP.
Absolutely. And Romeo with a good shout here. He says Xavier Woods wins the King of the Ring tournament and faces Big E. If Big E is WWE champion at WrestleMania, if they don't give us the New Day triple threat, they are blew it again. They didn't give us the Shield triple threat at WrestleMania. They need to give us the New Day triple threat at WrestleMania. But nobody turns on each other. They're just good friends trying to have the biggest match of the year at WrestleMania for the WWE
think that would be great. Yes, like don't let anybody be heels. Yeah.
Do y'all think that they would actually complete the trifecta the way they did with the Shield with the New Day, and give Xavier
I don't think Xavier was going to win the title. No.
It should. It doesn't have to be now. It doesn't have to be.
I love Xavier Woods, but do I have confidence in WWE to go that far? No,
absolutely not. Sorry,
I don't. But Kofi Kingston happened by accident, so I'm just saying.
It kind of did.
Maybe Woods gets the title via Spanky in a one-night tournament where it turns hands like 4 or 5 times. I mean, I would hate that, but I could see them the way that the direction or no direction is going there. But a little bit back to Big E. I did post and tag Tru Heel Heat on there, so you can watch Big E encouraging my tag team partner's wife giving birth, which is very entertaining if you haven't seen it.
Your tag team partner's tag team partner. That I love it. I love it. Yes, I just retweeted it up on the Tru Heel Heat Twitter page, so you can check that out over there. We got to move on, lady and gentlemen, to what we missed. We had last night on SmackDown. You had Bianca Belair had her homecoming in Knoxville, Tennessee, hosted by Mayor Kane, with Becky Lynch interrupting and laying out Belair with a manhandle slam in the end of the show, because WWE hates hometown heroes, apparently.
They do all of this stuff, and then never mind. Sorry.
Come on.
No.
Any different?
I totally understand. I was frustrated with this whole booking. I was just like, they hate hometown heroes.
You get all this stuff, you get the ring all just dumb.
All the time. This is WWE for you. This never fails.
Copy and
this never
paste.
fails.
Copy and paste.
Never fails. WWE champion Big E did appear on SmackDown. Great pop for him. And him and Finn Balor defeated the Usos in a tag team championship contenders match. Oh my God. The fact that they called it this infuriated me so much. But after in the back, the Usos attacked.
Look how sexy Finn Balor looks, though. Oh my God.
I love Big E's homage to the Fugees.
Yes.
Very great stuff. The Usos attacked Big E later in the show to set up the New Day versus the Bloodline on Raw this Monday. Huge matchup. WWE trying to force all of us to watch Monday Night Raw yet again by giving us
two good Raws in 1 year. Holy shit!
Yes. Hot shotted as fuck, but still a great match for Monday Night Raw, and definitely one to go out of your way to see. Seth Rollins cut a promo bragging about getting Edge stretchered out last week and challenged him for one more match to finish Edge. Justin, are you going to watch Monday Night Raw to see the Bloodline versus the New Day?
Definitely, that's a match I want to see, but just as you said, I'm old school. There's no build to this, and if you're gonna hot shot, as you say, hot shot, eventually, if you're not building anything underneath, you fall even deeper into the valley. From my humble my mind, I just build that up. I want some build to my wrestling. I don't want this is all knee-jerk reaction. And the fact is, I'll say it. You need wrestlers booking wrestling, not Hollywood writers. And I know it's not a big deal to say that, but somebody needs to say it and keep saying it.
That's a very big deal.
Keep preaching it, and hopefully they'll start to listen. Not the WWE, but everybody else. Everybody else seems to listen. AEW Rampage was also last night. You had the Lucha Bros defeated the Butcher and the Blade to retain the AEW World Tag Team titles in a fun opener. After the match, Private Party attacked the Lucha Bros with Santana and Ortiz coming down for the save to set up an 8-man tag of Proud and Powerful and the Lucha Bros versus Private Party, Butcher and the Blade next week on AEW Rampage Grand Slam, which will be a 2-hour special. Anna Jay defeated the Bunny. Anna Jay and Tay Conti was laid out by the Bunny and Penelope Ford after the match. Miro defeated Fuego del Sol to retain the TNT Championship and win Fiego's car. After the match, Sammy Guevara came down to make the save for Fuego del Sol from a post-match beatdown by Miro, setting up a TNT Championship match between those two. And then in the highlight of the night, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Ruby Soho cut excellent promos to hype their AEW Women's World Championship match on Dynamite Grand Slam. What was your thoughts on this promo segment, and probably the best Ruby Soho has looked cutting a promo in her career, Miss Krssi Love?
Well, she wasn't able to cut much promos where she was previously at. So, to be fair, guys, I mean, of course, we're going to say this is like the best that we've heard from her because we didn't really get to hear from her in the first place because they never gave her any credit. But awesome awesome segment. That was my highlight for the night. The matches were great, but these two ladies, my God, they could have probably went on and on and on if they wanted to. But they didn't. So I was thoroughly enjoying it. I was so excited. I can't wait to see their match, even though Ruby will probably lose. But awesome way to start this story, to get us hyped for this match between these two ladies. I can't wait to see it.
And Top Guy JJ, what match are you looking forward to from Rampage Grand Slam next week?
Oh, I'm not even trying to be. Listen, Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. Like, I'm not even trying to.
At Rampage Grand Slam.
Oh, why am I talking about Rampage? I want to see. I'm hoping to be there because I want to hear and sing Judas live. So
same, but those ticket prices is crazy.
I just want to sing. That's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, Punk and Hobbs, cool. But, you know, the matches on Rampage are cool, but I'm not really looking forward to matches. I'm looking more forward to the entrances. To be fair,
I'm looking forward to Adam Cole and the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. I'm looking forward to sing. I more than the Judas. I'm looking forward to seeing Minoru Suzuki, Kazunare live, and the lights out match. That should be ridiculous with Archer and Suzuki versus Kingston and Moxley, which was more set up on AEW Dynamite this week. From what we missed, they had another good ratings with 1.175 million viewers this past week. For the second week in a row, Dynamite beat Raw in the key 18-49 demo with 574,000 viewers to 556,000 for Monday Night Raw. Kenny Omega accepted the challenge of Bryan Danielson for a non-title match next week on Dynamite Grand Slam in an excellent promos exchange there, with Don Callis being a carny piece of shit. Adam Cole got his first win in AEW, beating Frankie Kazarian, and then challenged Christian Cage and Jurassic Express to a 6-man tag team match against Cole and the Young Bucks at Rampage Grand Slam. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston defeated 2.0 in the tag team main event. And then the Suzuki incident was fully redeemed, with Minoru Suzuki's full entrance theme being sang by the crowd at the Prudential Center in New Jersey, and that was followed by Suzuki and Lance Archer getting in a show closing brawl with Moxley and Kingston to set up a tag team match in New York City for Rampage Grand Slam, which has been announced to be a lights out match. Darby Allin beat Shawn Spears, and then FTR jumped Sting and Darby, with Sting taking a spike power driver and Tully wiping off his face paint to set up a tag team match on Dynamite Grand Slam. Cody Rhodes returned to confront Malachi Black after he called out Rosario Dawson in the crowd, Lala from He Got Game, and now almost a full cast of Clerks 2 has been on AEW.
I love it. I love this. I love it. Oh my God, I love it. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
Dan Lambert, Men of the Year and American Top Team were interrupted by Chris Jericho and Jake Hager to set up a tag team match at Rampage Grand Slam. And CM Punk, who was on commentary and did a great job on commentary, was jumped by Team Taz with Hook putting in the hooks, putting in the Dragon Sleeper, representing for the Hook gang, for the hookers, yeah, baby. And then Powerhouse Hobbs in his immaculate overalls, coveralls, choke slamming CM Punk through the announce table. Justin, what was your thoughts on this week's Dynamite? What stood out the most, and are you looking forward to Dynamite Grand Slam next week?
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I really now I'm gonna sound like JJ here. My Rampage and Dynamite gets kind of crossed. So the Britt Baker and Ruby was Rampage.
That was on Rampage. Yep.
Yeah. Well, my point is, I wanted to get on here with you guys, and in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna argue the point of, we're bringing in all these guys from another company. Do we have a problem if we put somebody over? Is it weaker? And I'm kind of happy to say I think they're going in this direction, and I hope they do and continue to, that they're like, fuck it, I don't care where they come from. Let's put on a damn good match and have damn good shows. I don't think we're getting beyond. This guy comes from another company, so we got to bury him and make him look weak. That's kind of WWE shit right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited about, where I had a hard time liking AEW at the beginning because it was very gimmicky.
I remember.
And it was tough to, yeah. So you're seeing, hey, you got graphics. I changed my tune since the last time we talked. But yeah, they're starting to put, quality over quantity. And looking back, hindsight, okay, we're trying to get these indie darlings. And now if they keep doing what they're doing with the dark and bringing people up, that you get a chance to hear on the indies that such like Warrior Wrestling does. But now we got people a bigger platform. AEW is taking over. And like I said, I want to argue, what do we do with the XWE guys? They don't give a shit. Let's have good, entertaining shows and matches. And Tony Khan, another guy is nice to be in a room with. It's like, we're putting it out this week live on TV so everybody can see it. So I'm looking forward to, Omega and Bryan Danielson. Is that a shot with the old Triple H? I don't know if that's a shot at all.
No, it's actually Harley Race. Harley Race. It's more of Harley Race.
Yeah, I didn't know. Going back, that's great, but I didn't. Sometimes I don't know how far these kids can go back. So I'm glad to hear you say the name Harley Race. So
I got you. Gotta represent. Yeah. We got another super chat donation from Fala B saying the Hook fan base is thriving. Yes, let's represent all the hookers. Let's get Jared.
I hope you make a sign that you're a hooker. When you
I'm a hooker. No, that's gonna get confiscated. But yes, Hook Gang. Hey, hashtag Hook Gang. I started following him. I started following him on Twitter. Let's bombard him on Twitter. Let's let him know the Hook fan base. Follow him at 730 Hook. He's got a dope Twitter page. He is doing big things. Hook is your future AEW World Champion, and I love seeing the Hooker Nation. The hookers are in the live chat. Hookers unite.
Yeah, that is really Taz's son, right?
I could get with Hook Gang, but I ain't being no fucking hooker, bro. Like that ain't.
You don't have to be a hooker. You don't have to be a hooker.
Hook Gang.
You know what we do with people that ain't hookers? See, that's what we do. We get rid of people who don't want to be hookers. If you don't want to be a hooker, we don't need you. We Hook Gang out here all day, every day.
That was so predictable. That was massively predictable. That's why I kept quiet. Like I already know this is happening.
Hey, it could be predictable or not. It doesn't matter. You know what's also predictable? Hook, your future AEW World Champion. But we got to move on to what we miss. WWE. Go ahead, Dustin.
I was just gonna say, is it gonna age me when you guys were all talking about Hooker and I thought we were talking about Lou Thesz's book?
What? I don't even know who that is.
Just a little bit. I know who Lou Thez is, but just a little bit agedness. But I'm not gonna hold that against you. I'm not gonna hold you. See, Nick Jackson is a hooker. Hook Hygiene. We got Vala B. Hook Gang. Oh my God, I love how the hookers are always out here. And look at the views going up. Look at the viewers going up as we talk about Hook. Oh my God, it's lovely. It's lovely out here for the Hook Gang. But we got to talk about other news on the other side of the wrestling universe. WWE NXT 2.0. They were up in the ratings a lot by 170,000 this week to 770,000 viewers. Yes. The new era of NXT kicked off with Tommaso Ciampa defeating LA Knight, Pete Dunne, and Von Wagner. Who the fuck is Von Wagner? In a fatal four-way to win the vacant NXT. God,
she's so cute.
Willow's Bell.
That's a doll baby right there.
Yes, she is with Goldie. Look at her and Goldie together. Oh,
his two ladies. That's his two ladies.
Oh, he looks so proud. Look at him.
She's beautiful. She's a beautiful little girl.
He won in a fatal four-way to win the vacant NXT championship after Samoa Joe relinquished the title on Sunday evening on his Twitter in a shock to a lot of fans. Index had their wedding.
Can never let Samoa Joe be great, yo. Sad, yo. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, Index had their wedding in an entertaining segment, which saw the return of Austin Theory, Braun Breaker, the son of Rick Steiner. Yes, he's not Rex Steiner. He's not Bronson Rex Steiner. He is Braun Breaker. Headlined 6 debuts on this episode, including Trick Daddy's son, Trick Williams. You had Bill Buchanan's son, really his son, Brooke Jensen. You also had Von Wagner, who is the son of Wayne Bloom, of one half of the Beverly Brothers, and Braun Breaker defeated LA Knight in the opener, and then he had a confrontation with Ciampa at the end of the show. Top Guy JJ, what was your thoughts on the new NXT 2.0?
Very, very bright. Like I had to turn the contrast on my TV down a little bit to thoroughly. So I was watching the Imperium entrance, and I was like, yo, if the Imperium entrance's lighting was on that shit permanently, I would have loved it. But the lighting did it. I guess it made it feel more of a show. Yes. I was actually pleasantly surprised that the wedding actually happened and they didn't pull typical WWE, and this is the first successful wedding since fucking Macho Man and Liz. Like they basically ruined every other wedding since. So the fact that this actually went through was a positive thing to see. Oh, I love that. I love that spot with Dexter, yo. When people raise their hands and he opened that was awesome.
That's me.
Awesome.
That's me whenever somebody says something bad about Hook. That's me. I got the hatchet in my blazer.
Yo,
don't be talking bad about Hook.
That was a nice thing to see. And it was a pleasantly surprising episode. Like I actually liked it somewhat. I liked it more than the past few episodes I've been watching of NXT. I love the end, the fact that this wedding happened and Tommaso Ciampa became 2-time NXT champion. So their last half hour was straight positive. Everything else in between, oh no, they had 97 debuts. I only remembered Von Wagner through our chat because his name got mentioned 1,012 times.
Because nobody knew who he was.
I don't even know. I don't the people that SP3 just named that debut. I don't even remember them right now.
Who the fuck is Von Wagner?
All I remember is Von Wagner and Braun, whatever the fuck.
All I remember about Von Wagner, he had a big forehead and he had big eyebrows.
Who the fuck is Von Wagner?
Too much going on with the debuts, man. But happy for the last 30 minutes of the show.
We got a super chat donation here from EVB. Thank you so much. Saying Hangman return would be insane with 18,000 present. Talking about Dynamite Grand Slam. That is one of the surprises that a lot of people are speculating might happen on that show. We also got Vala B with another super chat donation saying Braun sounds so much like his uncle. I need to hear him call Samoa Joe fat and do some math, some Steiner math or something, because he has 33% 1/3 chance of winning the NXT championship. For someone that's an historian like you, JC, what's your thoughts on Braun Breaker, the son of Rick Steiner, not getting the Steiner name?
That's a shame.
It is. It really is, though.
Yeah. Because what it can do is connect
older,
There's a lot of fans that, when I talk to people, I used to watch wrestling, but I don't watch it anymore. But now I kind of know who John Cena is, this and that. You're missing a chance to kind of go, I remember the dog-faced gremlin, and that's a relation to him, Steiner. Okay, that's great. And then somebody, old, an AWA guy like me, not calling him Cal Bloom. I think you're missing out too, because I do have a Wayne Bloom story for you, but I don't know if you want me to tell it. I just don't want to take away from the topic, but I got Wayne Bloom had a direct effect on me getting into the business. So
let's hear it.
I'm at a show in Minneapolis with another linebacker college teammate of mine, and first of all, we sit down. This is pre-wrestling. I just want to watch it, me getting into it. And the champion of the PWA hands me and him the title belt and the ring jacket. We're in a bar in Fridley, Minnesota. He doesn't come back to get it. Goes in the back after he wins. We've got the title belt and the jacket. for a solid 20 minutes. And we decide, well, he's not coming out. What do we know? Well, I guess we'll just go home. And then I go, nah. We got to the car, pulled out of parking lot, and said, no, we got to go back and find. This is not. And end up talking to Eddie Sharkey and talking about, at that time, there was no internet. There was no anything that I could go, hey, how can we break in? What can we do? So Eddie's talking to us and says, hey, give me a call. So I got to write a paper down. Wayne the Train Bloom with a beer in his hand goes, hey, why the fuck would you ever want to do this? And I'm like, well, I kind of, the worst mistake of your life, blah, blah, blah. So had I listened to the advice of Wayne the Train Bloom, we wouldn't be talking today. But I always think
there you go.
Wayne Bloom.
Look at that.
Why the fuck would you want to do this?
There you go. Showing some love. But yeah, he's now Von Wagner. They don't want to respect that history of Wayne Bloom. But also,
what we call him like Von Beverly.
That would have been okay. That would have been better than now, no acknowledgement at all. And I would be remiss if I didn't ask Krssi Love, did you cry during the Index wedding?
I was not crying, but I was very, very thoroughly happy to see the wedding go down with no problems. It was very, very funny and comical. Great, and I was watching it with the guys on the watch along, which was fun.
Yes.
The show was trash, but I had so much fun watching it with the guys. So yeah.
There you go. We got love. We got love there.
Krssi was so bored until the last 30 minutes of the show.
I was. You saw me. I was like
so bored, yo.
Sad. I tried. I'm sorry.
She had to adjust her eyeglasses because the fucking shit was so bright.
Yeah.
EBB with the super chat donation saying, did somebody say Andre Chase? And yes, Odyssey Jones says, sit your ass down, and made sure he didn't interrupt the wedding. But yes, great stuff. It wasn't for me, but overall I know it was entertaining for most of the fans. So that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Wedding?
No, I didn't. Loomis with the hatchet was my girl when I came home from SP3's baby shower. Great comment, Chris G. Great comment. Great callback. Man. That's gonna be my wife when I come back from Dynamite Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Next, what we missed this morning, you had New Japan Pro Wrestling kick off the G1 Climax 31 tournament. Krssi Love's favorite tournament of the year.
It's so early this year.
Yeah, well, no, it was in usually in the summer, but it's in the fall because of the Olympics.
Oh, okay. I don't know why. Yes. I feel like it's so much. I feel like it's usually freezing for us, and it's around that time. Okay, whatever. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Shingo Takagi defeated Tomohiro Ishii in an excellent main event. Those two guys just went at it, and of course. We got to explain, as every guest we have on, this, Justin, is the reason why we have stick figures now for New Japan talent. New Japan gave us a copyright claim when we used New Japan's fair use photos from their website. So now we use stick figures, and it's become a running gag, which we enjoy very much on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. So that's stick figure Shingo Takagi right there. He defeated... he defeated Tomohiro Ishii in the main event. Zack Sabre Jr. submitted Tetsuya Naito. Toru Yano beat Kenta. Great Okan over Tonga Loa, and Yujiro Takahashi upset Kota Ibushi on the first night of the G1 Climax. We got a new viewer here, Josh Bowen, saying, "Hey everyone, how's it going? First time to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified. We have our weekly Saturday podcast every single Saturday, and we got some big guests coming up. Chris Van Vliet next week, Dutch Mantel in 2 weeks, and our big guest that we got here, Justin Clapper of Wrestling Travel. So hope you enjoyed this week. Hope you enjoy going forward. And like Romeo in the background making the plane ride from hell on episode 146 for Tru Heel Heat in 3 weeks. Last night was also GCW Highest in the Room from Los Angeles, California. Minoru Suzuki defeated Jonathan Gresham in the main event. After the match, though, he was approached and confronted by none other other than Nick Gage, and Nick Gage will go one-on-one with Minoru Suzuki on October 23rd in Los Angeles, California. So that should be a huge match. Two men beating the crap out of each other. Tony Deppen defeated comedian Ron Fudge, and after the match, Danhausen chased off Deppen with the steel chair, and Alex Zane made his GCW return in a victory over Jordan Oliver. WWE Raw, we touched on earlier in the show with Big E's big cash-in of the Money in the Bank contract and defeating Bobby Lashley to win the WWE title after Lashley defeated Randy Orton. They did 1.6 million viewers this week, which was down from the week prior due to going up against the NFL Monday Night Football kickoff, which did 22 million viewers. You also had Damian Priest defeated Jeff Hardy to retain the United States Championship. Charlotte Flair beat Shayna Baszler thanks to a distraction from Nia Jax. And then Alexa Bliss gifted Charlotte a doll named Charlie. And I think, guys, any super chats donations that we get from here further are going to go to getting Romeo his own very own Charlie. I think that
Romeo, my God,
Romeo,
you have to get him a Charlie. You have to. There's no.
I think,
yeah, you have to get him.
I think that. I think that would be the perfect gift for Romeo. His birthday's in April, but for all his hard work on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube
for Christmas,
channel,
you got to get him that for Christmas.
People like Top Guy JJ leaving him hanging for SmackDown last night and only showing up for Rampage, and he had to do a one-man show, which we don't need the Charlie in the garbage. Someone take it out the garbage and send it to Romeo. Romeo deserves his own Charlie. That's what I think, ladies and gentlemen. We also Impact Wrestling this week had Christian Cage, Josh Alexander, Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, and Sami Callihan defeat Ace Austin, Madman Fulton, Brian Myers, Moose, and W. Morrissey in a very good 10-man tag team matchup to hype up Victory Road later tonight. Actually, Willie Mack made his return to set up him and Rich Swann versus the Good Brothers for the Impact tag team titles at Victory Road, and the Decay defeated Violent by Design. After the match, VBD turned on Rhino, excommunicating him from the group. I know, Justin, you're a big advocate for Impact Wrestling. What's been your thoughts on all the shakeup and changes that they've had throughout the year, going from Kenny Omega as their Impact World Champion to now Christian Cage?
I was not I think you and I got in a very heated discussion about Kenny Omega winning the Impact Wrestling Championship back in the day, but we've all grown now. No, but I love it. I love what they're doing, and I love that this is a company that's going to celebrate 20 years, I believe, next June. So yes. Whether they've been, whatever your thoughts are, they have a long history. They've got the Impact Plus app. They have Impact Insiders on YouTube now. You can, for a relatively nominal fee, cheap plug, I love them. You can get on and watch anything in the past Impact and TNA have. I was very lucky this past week to witness Ace Austin versus Casey Navarro at Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling, which is just down the road from where I'm at. That's another thing that probably, I think it is available on Fight TV, but fantastic. I think Ace Austin continues to improve. So I'm really looking forward to him and Christian Cage coming up. I love Josh Alexander. They've got a lot of talent there that I do think, just because, now that they have the app where people, if you want to see him, you can see him. But I think once you tune into Impact, you're going to be pleasantly surprised with the talent of people that, hey, I know that guy, or hey, I've never heard of this person or that person, and they do it well. They have a very entertaining product, and I'm looking forward to Victory Road.
Yes, it's going to be a good pay-per-view. We'll get a couple of predictions and preview for their card later tonight on the Impact Plus app. This comment, I think we addressed it on our Dark Side of the Ring, the Plane Ride from Hell episode, but we should address it here. We talked about it earlier, all the fallout from here. Raphael Turner saying, Tommy said nothing wrong. If you are done wrong, don't take payouts to stay silent. Let the full extent of the law play out. I think you're not understanding the other side of the coin there, that WWE has a long history of letting lawsuits play out over years and draining whoever goes against them financially. So you may say, oh, if you're done wrong, don't take the payout, go to court, but you're risking embarrassment, you're risking being financially drained, and you're risking having your family and your emotional mind state torn apart over years, when you could just take the money and you're thinking that's going to take everything buried and laying there. The fact that she's coming out and being vocal about it now, so it doesn't happen in the future, it says a lot. And that's why what Tommy Dreamer said wrong. I understand you have a different point of view, but you have to understand there's two sides to every perspective.
This comment is just out of touch.
Well said, SP. Well said. I'm not even going to say anything.
Yeah, that's nothing to cover behind that, but yeah, it's just out of touch.
Go ahead, Justin.
Your comments are fantastic, but they came to her.
Yeah.
Dark Side of the Ring came to her. She's not opening up a lawsuit.
Right.
After she took the payout. Your comments are 100% on point. That comment, definitely not. But, context is key here. They came to her.
Exactly. And we got Romeo saying that little shit $40 talking about the Charlie Doyle. Gonna need a lot of super chats. We're getting up there. Keep on giving those super chat donations, and they go to Romeo getting his Charlie doll that he thus deserves. And then finally, what we missed was ROH Death Before Dishonor 2021. Bandito defeated EC3, Demonic Flamita, and Brody King to retain the ROH World title. You also had Roxy defeat Miranda Alizé to win the Women's World Championship tournament in a great matchup, in my opinion, the match of the night, and become their inaugural champion. Josh Woods defeated Jonathan Gresham, ending his 385-day reign as the Pure Wrestling Champion. And Shane Taylor Promotions beat LFI to retain the ROH six-man tag team titles. You can see a full review on Death Before Dishonor right here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel by Ness, Stat King, and special guest Dylan, who was there live in Philadelphia. So check that out when this stream is over. WWE news, as we go through our news rundown, we got another name, ladies and gentlemen, of WWE superstar whose contract is about to expire, and that is none other than Johnny Gargano. Fightful Select reports that Johnny Gargano's WWE contract is set to expire on December 3rd. According to the outlet, WWE has not yet begun talks with Gargano on a new deal, but they expect to during the fall. The situation was specified as different to Adam Cole and Pete Dunne, as the expiration date was not a surprise. WWE has reportedly reviewed many of their contracts since Cole, Dunne, and Malachi Black's contract situations. The 30-day non-compete clause in Black's case came to light. WWE apparently believed that Cole's contract would have been up around the same time as Gargano's, and had planned on speaking with them both ahead of that time period. And Fightful also updated and said that the reason why these contracts are coming up is because a lot of these guys were offered new deals in 2019 when NXT went to USA, but a lot of them turned it down because those contracts are not at the same size of contracts from Raw and SmackDown, and they wanted to, bet on themselves. And as you see with Adam Cole, that's paid off. He's got a big money deal with AEW and he's moved on. And what will happen with Johnny Gargano? One thing we can say is that Johnny Gargano's significant other, Candice LeRae, will not be joining him as soon as Johnny would be leaving. It was noted that by Fightful that Candice LeRae's deal does not match up with Gargano's, and she still has time left on her contract after. It does expire sometime in 2022. They confirmed. For those asking, her deal has not been frozen by WWE during her pregnancy, as she's still an on-screen character. And Fightful was told by NXT sources that she insisted on remaining on screen as long as she possibly could, and that NXT has been happy with her performance both in and out of the ring. And we got to say congratulations to both wonderful. Johnny and Candice, because they're having a baby boy. Baby wrestling is on its way. Krssi, what's your thoughts on Johnny's contract coming up? And do you think that he may look at the other side and become All Elite?
No, he's not going to leave. I don't think so. They'll probably keep him there a little longer. If they don't, then they're stupid to not try to throw the bag at him, because with him, Ciampa, like, you know, who's in it, you know, who's at NXT really, like, you know, who's really a part of that brand, you know? I mean, you could bring up a whole bunch of new guys, but it's not the brand that we all grew to love, you understand? So, and he's one of those guys that we associate NXT with. And I don't see him leaving yet. I think that he'll probably stay put a little longer, to be honest.
What about you?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm happy that they're letting Candice stay on camera, because usually when a woman is pregnant, they don't let them stay. They just disappear. And then they come back, you know, or they don't even talk about like a person having a baby, like, you know, like all in the forefront of like saying, yeah, like look at Lacey Evans. She was gone. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Becky, she had her baby. Well, you know, she gave up the title and she left. So, you know, maybe that's what they want to do, and just, you know, just be quiet and just like be regular people and enjoy this time. But I love that Candice is out in the forefront and, you know, showing it off and doing things and being good at it still too.
Absolutely. One person who is going to be staying with NXT is Pete Dunne, as Fightful Select reported that sources in the company have confirmed that Pete Dunne agreed to a new long-term contract. According to the report, Dunne agreed to a 3-year deal that was offered by Triple H before the game was sidelined due to a heart procedure after he suffered a cardiac event. And Dunne's contract has now had been set to expire in July. Top Guy JJ, what's your thoughts on Pete Dunne re-signing, and how long until he becomes the NXT champion?
I would say within the year he becomes the NXT champion. I think they've been building to this they've been slow building this. This is actually one of the few things that they've actually slow builded pretty good. And I'm happy for Pete Dunne. I mean, Pete Dunne is one of the few people that WWE hasn't wronged and booking and on-screen time. Like, they have actually done him justice, same as Gargano. There's no reason for them guys to go anywhere else. Like, they've been treated well there. There's just obviously the standouts that we call out, but those they've been treated fine. So I don't see them changing course anytime soon.
Yes, and big and some maybe big news down the line. Andrew Zhang is once again standing up for the wrestlers in WWE, as today he earlier this week, he noted that they should contact an attorney to get proper compensation for their job. Yang has supported the wrestlers in the past and wanted to look into their status as independent contractors. In a post on Twitter, Yang said that he spoke with the Department of Labor, and that if WWE wrestlers want to get what's owed to them, they should contact Lucas Middlebrook. Middlebrook describes himself as a union side labor attorney representing airline and professional sports related labor groups, including professional fighters. As a former wrestler yourself, what's your thoughts on Andrew Zhang's I would say fight to try to get certain rights for professional wrestlers, Justin?
It's very interesting. I want to see how it plays out. But really, you're seeing it play out right now with the number of people when their contracts are up, they're leaving because there is, you can market yourself. You can do everything on your own. You can go to AEW, allows you to take these independent bookings and fill it up. You got an Impact Wrestling. So really, I think it's just kind of on top of that. You're seeing it right now. If there wasn't an issue, you would not, people would be like, yep, I'm staying here with WWE. I'm on TV. They're going to promote me. But you go back to not just wrestling, but weren't they taking away, and pardon me, I haven't kept up on it, but their Twitch streams and everything, that type of WWE. So, yeah, it's definitely, if you're a WWE exec, you knew this was coming, or you're an idiot.
Indeed. We have a lot of news notes.
You can't control everything, guys. You can't control everything.
They try to.
They definitely try to.
Really did.
The Undertaker keeps coming to get Justin.
They keep controlling Justin over there.
Fightful Select. Fightful Select has a lot of notes from NXT 2.0. First from Andrew Zarian. He had details, and according to Zarian, WWE is set to use the NXT 2.0 name moving forward for the brand, at least for the time being. Zarian also notes that a source mentioned they want people to know this is a whole new NXT. It was noted by Fightful that LA Knight was busted open hard way during the four-way main event and was treated during the match. Kevin Dunne was also indeed backstage to produce the rebrand. The timekeeper was encouraging chants during the taping. A reason has not been given for why the NXT Women's title match between Raquel Gonzalez and Frankie Monet was pulled from the episode. Monet was at the taping, and WWE reportedly knew the change was happening as of Monday morning. Ivy Nile, the newest member of the Diamond Mine, is Emily Andazulus. She previously competed in MMA and also showed up in Raw Underground last year against Shayna Baszler. And then Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer said that it's currently unknown. He said that it's currently unknown why Samoa Joe vacated the title. He said that he was told that Samoa Joe is not injured, but it was later reported by PW Insider that Samoa Joe is in fact injured, but the specific injury has not been revealed as of yet. Top Guy JJ, what's your thoughts on Samoa Joe relinquishing the NXT Championship?
The story of Samoa Joe's WWE career. Like, it's literally just this foregone, oh, he's injured. Like, part of me just doesn't even believe this. Like, part of me just doesn't even believe. Part of me kind of thinks that he doesn't want to be a part of this vibrant new NXT 2.0. He thought he was coming back to the rugged, to the NXT that he was used to. And then he was coming back to his fruits and colors and all his vibrance. Like, that's not Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is raw, rugged, and he does that on the mic. He does that in the ring. He does that with his attitude, and he was going to come out to all his colors and Samoa, yay, Samoa Joe, yay. No, that's not him. Not him at all. So he's probably just not with the rebranding, and I'm, good for him. Like, because he's always been an independent mind. So props to him. I hope if he's injured, hope he gets better. But part of me kind of doesn't think he's injured. Part of me just doesn't think he wants to be in this 2.0 shit.
Dave Meltzer on Monday's Wrestling Observer newsletter said that Samoa Joe is still with the company, but that when he was rehired back earlier this year, it was to be in a backstage role more than an in-ring one. It seems likely that Joe will be wrestling less moving forward, as the goal with NXT is to focus on the future stars, and he is now in his 40s. Instead, he will remain for coaching, training, and other backstage duties.
Why ever give him the title? Why ever give him the title back?
Why have these feuds? Why do we put him in these situations then? They don't want Samoa Joe to be great. I'm convinced like they're holding him back. I'm so sorry. Just say what it is, because you what is he gonna do in the backstage role? You could have just let him in on commentary then. Let him in.
He's
Why
a scout
give him
for
the NXT title? Why
That's my biggest thing. Yeah, that's my
Why
biggest
give him
thing.
the title? Why make him have this feud? Why make him do all these things? It's all backwards to me. Dumb. Dumb.
Have a one-off with Karrion Kross and call it a day, but don't reward him with the title.
Another NXT note from the Wrestling Observer Radio, it was noted that WWE told its announcers on NXT 2.0 not to acknowledge that Braun Breaker is the son of Rick Steiner. Neither Rick nor Scott Steiner were mentioned during the broadcast, although Vic Joseph managed to get a dog-faced gremlin reference in. I believe our producer was messaging us and telling us that he believes it's a part of the lawsuit that Scott Steiner put forth to Vince McMahon, but none of that has been confirmed by any of the sources that we usually get this information from. Fightful Select did report, though, that following the last week's SmackDown in Madison Square Garden, there was said to be a lot of optimism behind the scenes in WWE, with the exception of segments that were cut from time. Those in WWE seemed unanimously optimistic after the show, a change from some of the attitudes following TV events. Also, it was appeared that the morale was up once again during Monday Night Raw, according to a report from PW Insider. As Big E is very beloved by the WWE locker room, there was reportedly a new boost in morale among the Raw roster at the show, and there was a lot of genuine excitement for his title win, which is seen as a big deal for the roster. WWE has made it official, confirming that the 2021 WWE draft will take place next month in October. They showed the graphic on Monday Night Raw that October 1st will be on SmackDown the first night, and it will conclude on the October 4th episode of Monday Night Raw. It was also been reported that those episodes will be the season premiere for both shows, but that is not yet confirmed. The SmackDown that is set for Baltimore, Maryland, actually had an advertising Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Drew McIntyre. So they may have just spoiled one of the draft picks for SmackDown, and the Raw episode will take place in Nashville, Tennessee. And WWE has filed a new trademark for Becky Lynch, making her Big Time Bex nickname official. Fightful reported that the WWE filed a trademark for the term on September 13th. And then the last two notes: MVP is out of action as a result of a storyline injury at the hands of Randy Orton on Raw, saying that he broke his ribs. And then Edge being laid out by Seth Rollins last week was an angle done to explain Edge being out for a few months, as his part-time status will make these injury angles to explain why he's gone. And then we move on to AEW news. PW Insider reports that morale is very high for them right now after Dynamite this week and the upcoming episode in New York next week. Everyone wants to appear at the Arthur Ashe taping somehow due to how big it's going to be for the company, and it will be their debut in New York City and their biggest crowd ever. The event will outdraw WWE's recent return to Madison Square Garden by around 4,000 to 5,000 fans, a fact that is not lost on those in AEW. How, you said that you had a change. What happened? Go ahead.
Is Arthur Ashe that big?
Yeah, Arthur Ashe is a 20,000 seat arena.
So really? A lot of people gonna be in the house on Wednesday.
Yes.
It doesn't even look that big when you drive. Like, I swear on everything, when you're driving past it on the highway, it does not look that big. I swear the baseball stadium looks bigger than it.
Yeah.
I feel like people are going to be like on top of each other now. But
the way the seats are, it's kind of like a tennis. So it's like one seat, one row on top of the other.
It spreads, and they only have room for a tennis court. So it's a very small
right. That's why I'm like, how is it that big?
They're literally going to maximize the seats there.
Exactly. So Justin, you said your attitude on AEW has changed. Is a lot of that down to the momentum that they've been picking up coming off of like All Out? What was your thoughts on that pay-per-view and all the big debuts they've been doing?
Yeah, it's a lot on the big debuts and just the hype, and they're doing it right. And when I watch, the matches are good. They're entertaining. They're great matches. All Out was spectacular. And they're giving them the microphone. All right. I don't think, I could be wrong. It doesn't appear to me that somebody is back there going, CM Punk, please memorize this 2-page promo.
Trash.
And if you say anything wrong, we're going to take some money out of your paycheck or whatever. So I'll go back to what I said about AEW seems to be doing everything right, letting wrestling matches happen, not giving a damn where people came from. Now flip that over, and there may be some discussion later on down the weeks that you guys can say that WWE might be doing the exact opposite of that. Look at Karrion Kross. I'll go that Killer Kross was a case, and this is a theory, so I don't want to get trashed, but my theory is they bring in somebody like a Killer Kross and go, hey, Impact, you can't handle him. Look what we've done with this guy. We've made him a star. We've put the belt on him. Samoa Joe, you were a big star for TNA and Impact. We might keep you down a little bit and show you that we're the boss. And Karrion Kross, you got people go and look at my talks. If you go back with the Ascension, the Awakening, now they got up to the big time, and what did they do? They just keep squashing them. Bianca Belair goes to the hometown. There is a theory right there. I mean, it's not a conspiracy theory, but I think somebody can do some research into AEW or anybody. What they can do right is by, I'm not saying let the inmates run the asylum, but back in the day, you had wrestlers
like Rikers Island.
You had bad week to bring that up.
Right.
But you had kind of the Vince McMahon in that sound wrestling mind before he decided that it was not going to be wrestling. It's going to be entertainment. We're not going to say wrestlers. We're not going to say wrestling. I don't know if I'm behind, but I just recently saw a whole nother laundry list of terms that are not allowed to be said on the air again, where I feel like,
right.
Yeah. and wrestler and wrestling was one of the words two of the words that I saw banned. And I'm like, come on. I mean, here's the thing. As fans, we want to like WWE. We want to like AEW. Even when I thought AEW was a little bit nonsense, I want to like them. I want more places for people to work. I want these guys to push each other. But now this rivalry seems more like the rivalry between the hammer and the nail. And right now, AEW is the hammer.
Great analogy there. We got a new viewer with us, Mark flew Ellen saying playing WWE 2K17 Universal Universe mode while I listen to the stream for the first time. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for joining us. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Hit the bell to stay notified and give this video a thumbs up. We always appreciate the support. It helps us out a lot there. And WWE 2K17 was the last universe mode that I found actually entertaining, so I don't mind you playing the old game there. Stephen Amell was in the news this week as he's heading to AEW Dynamite next week for Grand Slam, and he's bringing his ring gear. Apparently, the star of Heels on the Stars Network, who has worked a couple of matches between SummerSlam 2015 and All In, did an Instagram live on Friday where he noted he will be at next Wednesday's show in New York City's Arthur Ashe Stadium. While talking about his work with partners of Knocking Point Wines, Amell noted that I've got my kayfabe wine out at the moment. I'm going to be at AEW show at Arthur Ashe on Flushing Meadows on September 22nd, and I'll bring my goddamn ring gear, okay? Who here has been watching Heels, as I think it's one of the best shows right now. I love it. It's a great depiction of professional wrestling, and I'm more of a fan of his brother. Ace of Spades is the guy. Let us know in the comment section, in the comment section or the live chat, if you watch Heels and who's your favorite character. What would you think about Stephen Amell getting involved in the Codyverse with Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black? Top Guy JJ.
Yeah, honestly, other than Bad Bunny, Stephen Amell is the best celebrity that crossovers into wrestling. So I don't mind anything that Stephen Amell does when he comes into the brand, because he actually puts work into the craft. So I wouldn't mind it at all. Love seeing Stephen Amell. He's awesome.
Yes, and speaking of the Codyverse, you had Rosario Dawson in the Codyverse this week. PW Insider reports that her appearance on Dynamite was set up by Cody Rhodes, who co-stars with her on the Go Big Show. It was kept such a secret that hardly anyone outside of the most inner circle in AEW knew it would happen until she was about to go out. A fan asked Dave. Yeah, a fan asked Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio if there has been anything regarding CM Punk and Punk-Cabana having difficulty working together in AEW. Meltzer said there is nothing there between the two. He added that while there may be people that aren't fans of Punk in AEW for whatever reason, there hasn't been any incidents, and nor will there be. He said that Punk-Cabana is a total pro. Punk is also a pro, so their past will not be a problem going forward. Fightful Select released a report with additional details for the All Out pay-per-view. According to the report, Alex Abrahantes was the creative vision behind the several aspects of the memorable entrance for the Lucha Bros at the pay-per-view with the rap song. The Lucha Bros defeated the Young Bucks in a steel cage match to capture the AEW tag team titles at the event. Additionally, the Fightful report noted that Bryan Danielson actually struck one of the Young Bucks, Nick Jackson, fairly hard for his debut in the closing segment. However, there wasn't any heat as Danielson due to the hit, as Danielson was very apologetic over the incident. And Wrestling Observer newsletter said that the angle with Andrade turning on Chavo Guerrero and Death Triangle beating him up was done to write off Chavo off of television. Guerrero is the wrestling coordinator for the NBC series Young Rock, which is scheduled to shoot their second season. When the idea came up to pair Chavo renewal with Andrade. Tony Khan made an agreement that would see Guerrero work through All Out and then write off his character around this time. Top Guy JJ, do you think that we're going to see a change in plans? Because a lot of people thought Ric Flair would be coming in as Andrade's manager. Now, do you think that that's changed because of the Dark Side of the Ring episode?
I would certainly hope so. I would really, really hope so. But I mean, no matter what, I'm glad they got Chavo off TV. With all due respect, he was bringing nothing but trash to the Andrade angle. I'm happy that he was able to get to AEW for a little bit, but until that match with Pac, Andrade's time in AEW has been utter trash. So I'm glad that he's gotten Chavo out the way. Now he can focus on being the best thing he can be in AEW, because until then, nah, not cutting it, bro. Not with Vicky, not with Chavo. Keep the Guerreros away from him.
That's sad that Andrade's run hasn't been any better, but I do agree the Pac match was the best thing he's done. And Wrestling Observer last week newsletter indicated that there was major plans for a rematch between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. They talked about a steel cage or a hair versus hair stipulation, but this week's Wrestling Observer let it be known that Tony Khan said he would never consider doing doing the hair versus hair stipulation for even a fraction of a second between those two ladies.
Don't mess with ladies' hair. No.
Say Krssi Love.
Not unless she is willingly knowing she is planning on cutting it.
Correct.
He was very Krssi Love was very upset about the inclination of that.
Sometimes women want to go with the crew cut. Sometimes they want to expose their natural beauty. But if they're not on the course of doing that, no, not at all.
And if even thinking of if they didn't mention it to you, don't say anything to them.
Right.
Now, New Japan news. Jon Moxley was previously scheduled for an upcoming New Japan Pro Wrestling show set for San Jose, California in November. But New Japan confirmed this week that Moxley will no longer be taking part in the event. Will Ospreay will be on that event. It was the Battle in the Valley will be held on November 13th, which is now the new date for AEW Full Gear, which explains why Moxley has to be off that show. And the first two matches for New Japan Strong Showdown in Philadelphia will include Minoru Suzuki versus Chris Dickinson, and also Will Ospreay versus Alex Zane in his first match in New Japan since his release from WWE. Rhino in Impact News has re-signed with the company, a new contract. Even though he's been taken out of Violent by Design, he's got a new contract with the company, so congratulations to him. And then the last few wrestling notes come from ROH first. Alex Zane made his ROH return at the pre-show Honor Rumble to win and earn a shot at the ROH World Championship. ROH confirmed that Death Before Dishonor would be the company's final live event in front of fans due to the Delta variant of the virus having cases rising. So totally understandable, and we appreciate Ring of Honor for protecting their fans and their athletes. And Figure 4 Online reported that former ROH World Champion, your friend Justin PCO, gave his notice to the company and that he won't be renewing his deal after it expires on November 1st. Do you think that due to its age, PCO will be retiring, or do you think he will show up somewhere else, Justin?
Well, let me tell you how painful it is being a friend with PCO. He messaged me on Sunday to tell me what was going on, and then the next part he said that he had to do the Meltzer thing, so I could not say anything. Where I'm a what I call on this platform a struggling artist. So to have that information and not be able to do anything with it sucks. But at the same time, having that trust from a guy like PCO. Now, no, PCO will continue, in my opinion, let me add that, to go and do exactly what he can do. He was in an exclusive contract with Ring of Honor, so he was unable to take outside bookings, which is great for a man who's 58 years old. But I do feel like PTO is going to take whatever gas is left in the tank. And if you follow him on Twitter, which I highly suggest, that guy has got like an emergency tank and a tank hidden here, this and that. He continues to impress. So I do believe that, come, I don't know what will happen in December, but I would say come 2022, look for PCO doing crazy things on the indie scene, maybe even showing up places that you wouldn't expect them to show up. But, you got to strike while that iron is hot. His iron was hot, and everything kind of seemed to slow down with Ring of Honor. But I'll guarantee you one thing, PCO, he ain't slowing down yet. So that's my opinion.
I like it. Jediah Steele saying, for real, congrats to Rhino. Dude gave his life to the business, and it's nice to see it's still taking care of him. And then we got the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, saying Ace is trash, all about Bobby Penn. That was messed up what he did to Bobby Penn. Bobby Penn, the man of the people. And Romeo, if Romeo's in the backstage area, if he could put in an in-chat poll, I want to know if you guys want us to do a heel season 1 review, because I see that Chris G is watching it, so me and Chris G can review the show for you. Let us know, give us a yes or a no. Do you want a heel season 1 of Stars review on the channel? And we will get to it. Final news notes: the NWA announced a special event on Fight this October called By Any Means Necessary. It's going to be in Kentucky on October 24th, and it will feature a steel cage match between Crimson and Jax Dane. MLW announced that former WWE superstar Bobby Fish will be debuting for the company in their annual 2021 Opera Cup tournament. MLW also has confirmed that to Fightful and the Fightful report that Alex Shelley is the final entrant in this year's Opera Cup tournament. Shelley recently returned to the ring earlier this month, facing Tom Lawler at GCW and BLP 3 Cup stuff. And the tournament field for the Opera Cup is stacked with Shelley, Lee Moriarty, Bobby Fish, Calvin Takeman, TJP, Davey Richards, Matt Cross, and Tom Lawler. So should be very interesting who wins that and gets a shot at the MLW Heavyweight Championship. And then we move on to our preview and predictions. Whole bunch of big shows and big tournaments kicking off this weekend as well as next week. Impact Victory Road is tonight, actually, on the Impact Plus app. We will go through the whole card, but we'll do predictions for the top 3 matches. You got at the bottom of the card Steve Macklin versus TJP versus Petey Williams in a 3-way match. Steve Macklin been on a hot streak in Impact Wrestling and looks to continue with that against 2 mainstays of the company. You got a big tag team grudge match as it's going to be Moose and W Morrissey versus Sammy Callahan and Eddie Edwards, the 2 mortal enemies teaming up with each other to
love
versus the 2 monsters.
Shots. Looks great.
Absolutely. Great graphics always by Impact Wrestling. Chris Bay and Hikuleo of the Bullet Club will versus Finn Juice. So a little bit of New Japan Pro Wrestling mixing in with Impact Wrestling here. You got Tennille Dashwood going one-on-one with Taylor Wilde. This is the blow up of their big feud that's been going on for the last couple of months. No disqualification match. Matt Cardona will versus Rohit Raju after Rohit Raju nailed Chelsea Green with a knee. He's the man.
Right. Look at these gems. Just when you leave a certain place, you become a gem somewhere else. It's just as beautiful.
Rohit Raju laying out his girl Chelsea Green a couple of weeks back on Impact on Access TV. Knockouts tag team titles are on the line. Havoc and Rosemary of the Decay versus Tasha Steeles and Savannah Evans. Savannah Evans, I'm always a fan of. We've had her here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, but this should be a very good matchup for the Impact Knockouts tag team titles. And then the first match we'll do predictions for the X Division Championship. Josh Alexander looks to continue a phenomenal run with the title and prove he's the greatest X Division champion by versing one of the guys that people considered one of the greatest X Division champions of all time, former 8-time champion Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin accepted the challenge from Josh Alexander when he challenged any former X Division champions to prove that he is the GOAT of the X Division. Justin, who do you think wins here, the walking weapon Josh Alexander or Chris Sabin?
What a dream match, first of all. As much as I want that to be just a classic, which I think it'll be, I'm gonna go outside and say maybe Chris Sabin.
Going with Chris Sabin there.
Not to say Chris Sabin, but that's why I'm saying Chris Sabin.
I'm gonna go with the walking weapon, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. I like the tease they did on Impact on Access TV with him tagging himself in on Christian to get the win in that 10-man tag. And I think we're going to get him to cash in option C on Christian at Bound for Glory. So he needs to win here. Krssi Love, who you got? Josh Alexander or Chris Sabin?
I'm going with Josh Alexander.
Top guy JJ?
Yeah, I got to go with Josh Alexander here. Nice to see Chris Sabin still getting big time matches, but I think Josh Alexander's he's going to pull us out.
For the Impact Tag Team Championships are on the line. The Good Brothers will defend against Rich Swann and Willie Mack. Like I said a couple of weeks back, Rich Swann and Willie Mack defeated the Good Brothers in a non-title matchup. They laid out Willie Mack, keeping him out of action for a number of weeks. Rich Swann has been looking for revenge ever since. He lost a bunkhouse brawl match 2 weeks ago to Carl Anderson, and then this week Willie Mack returned to set up this tag team title match. I'm going to go with the Good Brothers to successfully retain, but I think that this is a longer feud, and eventually Swann and Mack will beat them for the titles, but I just don't think it will happen here. Top guy JJ?
Yeah, completely agree here. Don't see the Good Brothers losing the titles right now. Good Brothers retained here, but it's getting closer. It's getting closer.
Justin, who you got?
I love Swann and Willie Mack. I love them, but you guys are right. The way this would be better played out a little bit longer.
And Krssi Love?
I'm letting the Good Brothers retain because they're still in the Elite, and the Elite is not going to have any friction as of yet. We still have to build up between those stories with Adam Cole and everybody. So they're going to lose, just not yet, though.
I understand. Impact World Championship is on the line, the main event of Victory Road. Christian Cage will defend against Ace Austin. Ace Austin earned the opportunity by defeating Sami Callihan, Moose, and I believe it was Chris Sabin, yes, in a 4-way at Emergence last month. And now he versus Christian Cage, who of course won the championship from Kenny Omega on the first ever episode of Rampage. This should be an absolute classic for sure. Krssi, who you got, Christian or Ace?
I got Christian retaining, sir. Not losing yet.
Who you got, Justin?
Christian, but I think this is if you haven't been on the Ace Austin wagon, I think you jump on it after tonight.
And top guy JJ?
Oh, I would love it if Ace Austin won this match, but not the timing, not happening yet.
Yeah, that's just what it is. It's bad timing for Ace. Sorry.
Yeah, the bigger show is definitely Bound for Glory. So right. I think that's where Christian's going to drop the title, but I'm going to go with Christian to retain here. Like I said, I think Josh Alexander is the next challenger, and that should be a classic at Bound for Glory if it happens there. Right. New Japan Pro Wrestling kicks off their premier tournament this weekend. It started this morning. I apologize for anybody who I didn't say spoiler alert for the first night results, but the tournament is going to be following up with the second night tomorrow. But we're going to predict who we think is going to win each block of the G1 Climax and who wins the entire tournament here. It's 10-man per block. They verse each and every person. So your record out of 9, whoever has the best record in the block will win the block. And then they verse the winner of the other block on the final night. And the winner gets a shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom in January. In the A block, this year you got Shingo Takagi, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. You got Tomohiro Ishii. You got Toru Yano, Kenta of the Bullet Club, Great Okan of the United Empire, Tonga Loa of the Bullet Club, Zack Sabre Jr. of Suzuki-gun, Tetsuya Naito of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Kota Ibushi, and Yujiro Takahashi. So I'm going to start things off, and I'm going to say the winner of the A block will be Tetsuya Naito. That's who I think is going to win the A block this year in the G1 Climax 31. Krssi Love, who you think's winning?
Run those 10 guys' names again.
I knew I was going to have to do it. Shingo Ishii, Shingo Ishii, Yano, Kenta, Great Okan, Tonga Loa, ZSJ, Naito, Ibushi, and Takahashi.
Ibushi, you know my boo.
That's why I was like, I literally saved him to the end so you could remember the last name I said.
Well, okay, you know what? Ibushi for this block. Thank you. Next one.
And as always, guys, you can leave in the live chat who you think is going to win from Victory Road or from the G1 Climax 31. And Josh Bowen saying, I'm sorry I don't follow New Japan. That is okay. No need to say sorry. Where do you find it? You can see it on the New Japan World app. And we always do coverage here of New Japan on our weekly podcast of Tru Heel Heat. So any information, any of the people that you need to know about, we'll always inform you here. Unfortunately, J News Japan has been preempted due to New Japan giving us the copy strikes, but we try our best to cover it here with our great stick figures made by our producer Romeo. Top Guy JJ, who do you
don't want
think
us to be great? That's why.
Who you think's winning the A block for the G1 Climax 31?
Yeah, Naito and Ibushi's names just pop out like they pop out like bad firecrackers. I'm gonna go Kenta.
That's not a bad pick either, though.
I'm gonna go wild card here because Kenta has yet to get his big moment here. Naito and Ibushi's both had them already. Let's pull somebody new out of the strands right here.
That's actually a good thing, JJ. That's not a bad idea. Give it to someone new that has not had the chance to win. That's a good idea.
Justin, who you think's winning the A block? I know you're not too familiar with New Japan, so if you need me to name those names again, I can drink a glass of water and go at it, try it at it again.
I won't do that, but I will say this, Josh Bowen, that this podcast that you're tuned into right here, SP3 is a wealth of knowledge on New Japan, and that's usually where I get any idea of what is going on and how to pronounce names is from SP3. So I was going to go with Kenta, but I'll go different now. So we don't have, but Kenta was my pick. I'll just throw Zack Sabre Jr. out there just because I could remember that name. But my biggest question is, since the last time I was on this podcast, Krssi Love, are you comfortable with the G1 Climax name, or is it still, I was going to say rub you the wrong way, but that would have been the perfect thing to say. Does the G1 Climax rub you the right way now?
Well, you have to tell everyone why he SP. For those who are new, you have to explain to them why he's asking me that.
You tell them.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, exactly. Best is coming from the horse's mouth,
I believe and I feel like the G1 Climax sounds like a name of a porno. So, with that being said, yes, I still feel the same way, Justin. I still think that it still sounds the same. There's no change in it. You have 1, 2, 3. That's each part of the porn. You know, they have different movies. Part 1, 2, 3, 4. We have the D block, the A block, the C block. All of those are the great stories. For
you just wanted to say D block.
You know what? I can never be me. You know what I'm saying? I can never be me.
Boo, you just throwing them layups right now. You throwing them layups right now. I mean, come on.
Oh man!
But yes, I still feel the same way. But SP is a great teacher of telling people what to watch or what to educate you on New Japan, and he has done that. Where I have a newfound love for Ibushi, and a source of other Jay White. What's my other sexy one name? Who has the belt right now? Dang it.
Well, Shingo does, but I think you're thinking of Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay. There you go. Yeah.
Yes. And then we got over on the B block. We got the B block.
D block.
A and B. It's A and B. A and B. There's no D block. I know that would fit your whole argument. Everywhere we go, people wanna know who we are.
This is D block, mighty D block.
But we're talking
you Locks fans.
We're talking about the B block here. You got Hiroshi Tanahashi. You got Kazuchika Okada. Of course, we had stick figure Tanahashi here with us. Kazuchika Okada.
That is a good one. That is a great one. Oh yes, man,
Michael Myers.
The hair is amazing.
The hair, yo.
That's my winner right there. Him, just because of the figure.
Side too. Slick to the side.
You got the slick to the. That you don't even have to ask me, SP. That's my go. Okay, finish. Sorry.
You're going with Tanahashi? Okay.
I'm going Tanahashi. Look at the flip hairs,
Damn.
everything.
You got Kazuchika Okada. You got Sonata.
Do you have
got
any more? Let me see. I can't wait.
You got Tama Tonga. You got Jeff Cobb, Chase Owens, Yoshihashi, Evil, Hiroki Goto, and Taishi. I'm gonna go with, you guys said, Kenta, Zack Sabre Jr. to be different from what we usually see. I think the B block is where we're gonna get the different one. I think Naito in the A block. I'm going with Jeff Cobb to win the B block. That's who I think. Big boy Jeff Cobb to win the B block. Krssi Love, who you got in the B block?
I just told you I was winning.
Oh yes, as
put it back on the figure. I want to see it again. Put the stick figure, please. Can I put
as Jediah Steele says, Tanahashi is the ace of the stick figures. Yes.
See, look at it. That is amazing. I love it. Tanahashi for the win, friend.
Absolutely.
Wait, that's the one that wears the nice robes too, right?
Yes, and got the hair like your auntie on Easter Sunday.
Yes, okay, yeah. That for him. He's gonna have a banging robe. Can't wait.
Don't forget about Hiromu. Don't forget about stick figure Hiromu. He's like I'm upset. He's like I'm upset. Huh? No.
The Harlem Brothers.
No, it wasn't Harlem for sure. It'll be all over the place. Justin, who you got from the B block?
I love Cobb, but I'm just gonna be different and go not real different, just different than saying Cobb, but Okada.
I like that pick. That would be my second pick. I think it's going to either be Cobb or Okada out of the B block. Top guy JJ, finish this off with this.
Been beating this drum year after year. I'm going to keep beating it until I get it right for once. I'm going Sonata. I want Sonata to fucking succeed. Sonata. God damn it.
You're just trying to make Jay News happy somewhere, wherever he is at right now.
I've been pounding this drum for 2 years. He needs to pull it. They need to pull a trigger at some point.
And then real quick, we're gonna do rapid fire predictions.
Does live over there, right? Does he live in Japan? Jay News lives in Japan, right?
Daniels? Who?
No, Jay.
She said Jay News lives in Japan.
No, Jay News doesn't live in Japan. No.
He doesn't live there.
He lives in Washington Heights.
Yeah, he lives up the road. He lives up the road from us, boo. Like, I don't know where you got that from. I don't know.
He gone.
We gotta clip this just for Jay News.
Like 20 minutes away from each other.
We gotta clip this just for Jay News with Krssi Love being stunned that he doesn't live in Japan,
bro. Like, where did you get that from?
Oh my god, that was awesome. That was
Japan.
Awesome. AEW Dynamite. AEW has their big show on Wednesday. AEW Dynamite Grand Slam.
He live in Manhattan, son? Oh man, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm turning my mic off right now.
AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, AEW Rampage Grand Slam. We're going to go through the matches very quickly. Start off with the biggest match of the Wednesday. Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, going one-on-one with Bryan Danielson. A dream match in the making. A match that so many people have talked about for so many years. A dream match for multiple people in the wrestling industry. Krssi Love, who wins, Omega or Danielson?
I'm going to go Omega. So all you guys are going to be at the place, right?
I'm going to be there. Yes. Me, Romeo, Chris
I'm like,
G.
Who's doing the long?
Me, Romeo, Chris G, Drunk Guy JJ, Josh. Those are all the ones I know off the top of my head.
So all the people that man the
boat. Let us know in the live chat if you let us know in the live chat if you're gonna be there. Maybe you can say hi to us. We could take a picture.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. But yes. Who you got, Krssi? You said Omega.
Yeah. Omega for the win. Omega.
Justin, who you got? Omega or Danielson?
Omega, but there's got to be some type of schmaz here to just continue this.
Yeah.
And top guy JJ, who you got?
Yeah, damn. I really thought I was going to be in a minority with this one, but I'm definitely going with Kenny. I think Bryan Danielson is going to face adversity when he hits AEW.
I'm going to be the minority here. Then I'm going with a draw. That's the best decision possible. Bryan Danielson does not need to lose his first match in AEW.
call.
Kenny Omega does not need to lose another non-title match. This is the perfect two guys to go 20 minutes, have a classic, and let it go to a draw, because the question of this feud is who is the best in the world. It's not a 60-minute time limit, producer. It's not an AEW world title match. So that means it's going to be 20 to 30-minute time limit or TV time remaining if it's the main event. So let them go 20, 30 minutes and let it go to a draw and keep the question of who is the best in the world out there. Let Danielson go on a streak of wins and then verse Omega on pay-per-view for the championship.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Broadway.
That's a hell of a call. That's a hell of a call. I like it, brother. That's a hell of a call.
AEW Women's World Championship will be on the line, and I'm very much looking forward to this after that promo last night. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, will defend against Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho earned this opportunity by winning the Women's Casino Battle Royale at All Out. So who wins this one here? Miss Krssi Love, ladies first on this one, Baker or Soho?
I have Miss Britt Baker, DMD.
Big DMD. Who you got in this one, Justin?
The biggest loser is the graphic designer on that one compared to your Impact graphics.
You know, call a spade a spade. I love that fact. Justin Clapp is calling it out.
I'm gonna go with almost my same thing with Daniel Bryan. I think it's too soon for Britt Baker, but you gotta come off strong with Ruby, so there's got to be some type of interference, and it's got to be a classic up till then.
Top guy JJ.
Yeah, I see Ruby winning this match, but not for the title. Like Ruby, I see Ruby winning by disqualification, and this continues because I do not see Britt Baker beating her flat out, and Ruby Soho cannot just come here and just start catching L's. You know, this women's division needs this influx right now. So.
Right.
Ruby Soho by disqualification.
We got a question here from Ninja Mortis saying, speaking of New Japan, who we think is showing up with Ospreay, talking about his mystery partner for the upcoming New Japan Strong Show. I think it's Buddy Matthews because he's made very obvious teases to Buddy Matthews for sure. So that's why I think it's definitely going to be him. As far as this match, I'm going with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, but I feel like it's the start of feud because these two ladies have great chemistry with each other, as we saw from that promo segment. Malachi Black will have a return match against the returning Cody Rhodes. These two men versed at AEW Dynamite Homecoming in August, with Malachi Black destroying Cody and seemingly retiring him, but Cody is back to get revenge after Malachi Black has targeted the Nightmare family. Who you got in this one, Justin?
Man, Cody Rhodes should come out victorious if I'm not looking at any, just looking straight storyline. He's the return or whatever, but man, that one, I sound terrible. I'm like, this one he's in and a schmaz too or whatever, but I think that I'm going to say Malachi Black gets the win here.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got in this one, top guy JJ?
I'm gonna go Cody Rhodes. I'm gonna go Cody Rhodes to extend this feud a little bit longer because I don't think Malachi is in the position to move on to somebody else yet. I think they keep this going. Cody Rhodes makes it 1-1. They have a blow off. Malachi ends that, but Cody wins decision number 2.
Okay.
Miss Krssi Love.
I like JJ's answer, but I'm going to go with Mr. Black on this one for the win.
I'm going to agree with Miss Krssi Love. No, you know what? I'm going to go with my head instead of my heart. My heart is saying Malachi Black, but my head is saying Cody always comes back and wins. So I'm going to go with my head this time and say Cody Rhodes wins.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I think it's for AEW purposes it's going to happen.
Outside of Danielson and Omega, this is the match that has gotten the best build-up going into Dynamite Grand Slam. MJF will go one-on-one with Brian Pillman Jr. It was in Cincinnati. MJF ridiculed and verbally abused Brian Pillman's family, his hometown. And then this past week, he's talked down to hell to Brian Pillman's father. This is MJF being his most despicable and dastardly self versus Brian Pillman Jr. Who you got in this one, Justin?
I love Brian Pillman Jr., but MJF.
Who you got, top guy, JJ?
Yeah, this would be the closest that Pillman gets to beating a big star, but he ain't beating this big star. This ain't happening.
Krssi Love?
MJF.
MJF across the board, and a tag team match. FTR will face Sting and Darby Allin. They attacked Darby Allin and Sting following the matchup with Shawn Spears this last week, even giving Sting a spike power driver, wiping off the face paint from Sting. Does Sting and Darby get revenge, or does FTR pick up a big victory? My first time seeing Sting live. I can't wait. I'm going with Sting and Darby Allin to get the victory here. Who you got, Krssi Love?
FTR needs this win, but I don't see them winning. I'm going to go Sting and Darby.
Who you got, Top Guy JJ?
Yeah, this would be actually the second time I see Sting at a live event. First time was in Brooklyn when they did the whole statue unveiling of Sting at Raw. You know, which was.
Well, you didn't see him wrestle.
No, it's the second time seeing him.
Yeah.
I said seeing him. I didn't say wrestle. I said seeing him.
Wrestle.
I said seeing. Stop correcting my shit.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Jerk, yo. But I am going with FTR to give Sting and Darby their first loss as a team. I'm going with FTR because it's going to probably be one of FTR's biggest wins since, joining the brand, and they got to get back on that title picture. They got to get back in that title picture.
Yep.
Justin, who you got?
First of all, the first time that I saw Sting was the Miami Night Center, Great American Bash, 1989. How old were you guys then back?
I was 1 year old.
89?
1989.
I was 6. I guess we're all just giving out our ages right now. I was 6.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I thought I had a picture.
I was 5.
You were 5. I was, I thought I had a picture on the gram, but FTR, we've got Tully Blanchard. I think that they should definitely win, but it would be a great underdog story that's thwarting the interference by Tully, that Darby and Sting win. So I definitely want FTR, but with the momentum of Darby Allin and Sting, FTR needs this. I'm gonna say FTR.
Yeah, FDR does need this. So that's these are very difficult ones to do predictions for. We're also going to see.
Yeah.
So a lot of toss-ups. We're also going to see CM Punk's interview before his first match in 7 years on AEW Rampage Grand Slam, which is going to be a special 2-hour spectacular. And yes, you're going to see CM Punk.
What?
Yes. CM Punk go one-on-one with Powerhouse Hobbs in his first TV match in 7 years. Powerhouse Hobbs chokeslamming CM Punk through the announce table. They started their feud 2 weeks ago. Who wins here in Powerhouse Hobbs' biggest match yet? Who you got, Krssi Love, Punk or Hobbs?
Punk is definitely winning. Sorry, Hobbs. Even though Hobbs needs this win. Matter of fact, no. Sorry. Hobbs will win. No. I feel like this is going to go on for a little bit. So I feel like it's not going to be a clean win. So I'll go Hobbs.
Who you got, Justin?
Just as we were saying, look at what my change of heart on AEW. Look at every match that we have here. And we're like, I can't tell, because now we're thinking like, oh, here's what they are going to do with them. Here's what I think they should do. So it's got us thinking. I love it. I would love it if somehow Hobbs came away with some type of count out or some type of victory to extend this.
Top guy JJ,
but
CM Punk I think he hits the Hobbs in the nuts, and he wins this match obviously after taking a beating. But this is obviously got to lead to the big match with him and Ricky Starks. Like Punk and Ricky Starks we got to hit it. We got to get it. We got it.
Look at your face.
We got to get it. Well, yes. With
the big match is CM Punk versus Hook. Hook. Did you see Hook? Put up the graphic again, please, producer. Did you see Hook? Do you see Hook in the background? Hook ain't wearing regular clothes. Hook ain't wearing his white beater. He ain't wearing his jeans. Hook is where man, the producer is I said, no, put up the graphic of Hook. Of Hobbs versus Punk. Hobbs, I got it. Do you see it? Do you see Hook? He's wearing boxers. He's wearing the boxing shorts. Oh my God, Hook looks intimidating. He is the bodyguard for Powerhouse Hobbs. This is amazing. Hook versus Punk. That's gonna be the pay-per-view match.
Punk takes an ass whooping in this match, though.
I know, against Hook. But Punk is gonna win against Powerhouse Hobbs. Your match that you're looking forward to, Chris Jericho and Jake Hager will team to verse the Men of the Year. I think that Jericho and Hager take this one. Who you got, top guy, JJ?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this match because of the Judas entrance, not because of the actual match. I'm going with Jericho and Hager.
Who you got, Miss Krssi Love?
Their name is stupid. Jericho and Hager for sure.
That Men of the Year shit is trash.
And Justin, who you got?
I got Jericho and Jake.
And yes, and then we got Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay. I think that Anna Jay gets another big victory on Dynamite here. Who you got, Justin?
Anna Jay, please, for the win.
Krssi Love?
Anna Jay.
Top guy, JJ?
Yeah, Anna Jay, the only one that's actually getting wins for the Dark Order.
Seems like it. And a huge 8-man tag team match. The Lucha Brothers and Santana and Ortiz will verse Private Party and the Butcher and the Blade. I think the Lucha Bros, Santana and Ortiz, take this one and build up to their huge match for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Top guy, JJ?
Oh, man. I'm part of me is disappointed that this is where Proud and Powerful is at in this card.
Right, yeah.
This is the one blunder, I think, that happened, is them. They obviously win this match with the Lucha Bros, but I hope something happens after the match because I'm really not looking forward to this combination. I'm sorry.
Who you got, Justin?
Lucha Bros and Proud and Powerful.
Who you got, Miss Krssi Love?
Lucha Bros, Proud and Powerful.
And we got the two big matches, probably the two biggest matches on this card. Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, the Super Click, will team to verse Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. I am going with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks to get their victory in this 6-man tag. Miss Krssi Love, you agree?
I agree. I can't wait to see what the Young Bucks are wearing. With foolishness, they're going to be being such jerks. I can't wait to see it.
Justin, who you got?
The Bucks. And
who you got, top guy, JJ?
Oh, the Super Elite, of course. I mean, come on.
Super Elite for the win. And then finally, the main event, it's going to be lights out. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus Lance Archer and Minoru Suzuki of Suzuki-gun. This one should be physical. It should be insane. Who you got, top guy, JJ?
I'm going with Kingston and Moxley in a very physical match. I'm going with Kingston and Moxley here, but this match is going to be fucking brutal.
Miss Krssi Love?
I'm going Archer and Suzuki.
Who you got, Justin?
Yeah, everything tells me that it's going to be Kingston and Moxley, but I'm going Archer and Suzuki because that's what I want. My question for you is, will this be your first time seeing Suzuki live?
This is my first time. Well, no. I did see Suzuki live in San Francisco with our producer, Baby Seth, in 2018. But I can't wait to sing the song. That's what I can't wait for. That's what I'm looking forward to. Suzuki incident redeemed. But yes, the real lights out match here.
Wow.
There he is.
Oh, I love our producer. He always comes in the clutch with
Yeah.
Oh, we need
your
the
version of
Dawn.
WrestleMania 36, sir. Your version of the Boneyard match.
Absolutely. I'm going. If this was anywhere, oh my God, I'm done. MJF telling Brian Pillman that his daddy's going to be rolling in his grave. But if it was anywhere but New York, I would say, oh my God, send Hook. Yes, just kidding. Sorry, Hook. Sorry. Look at Punk apologizing to Hook. That's what happens when you mess with the hookers. Yes, Hook Gang. Hook Gang is everywhere. Look at Jay Conti is a part of the Hook Gang. Hook Gang is out here. We are all hookers in our hearts. Hookers in your hearts. That's what it's all about. If this was anywhere but New York, I would say Suzuki-gun wins, but I'm going with Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Eddie
Kingston's from New York.
Deserves his pop in New York for sure, and that's why he's in the main event. But that brings us to a close on Tru Heel Heat 143. Thank you so much, everyone who is joining us live. Thank you so much to our guest, Justin Clapper. Justin, let the people know where they can find you once again on social media, Wrestling Travel YouTube channel, and everything you got going on, sir.
Yes, at Wrestling Travel on Twitter is our main Twitter, but I am at Clapper77, and I really need some love on at JC Pro Wrestle. I'm at ProWrestlingShow.com. I'm getting that up and going. But Wrestling Travel's YouTube, our latest interview with Impact star Drama King Matthew Raywalt. And I will see you guys. Anybody that's a Tru Heel Heat fan and I see you out at the matches, please come up and say hello. I'm just ecstatic that we were able to reunite. It felt like a homecoming today, and I loved it. And, Krssi Love, I'm glad that nothing has changed. The G1 Climax, even though it's a delayed G1 Climax, that you're still offended by it. JJ, we didn't get into football, but best of luck to your Titans and SP3. I'm excited for the G1 Climax because now I know that I can listen to Tru Heel Heat. The gentleman before that says I don't follow it, they need to follow you because I learn more from listening to you about New Japan than anywhere else.
We appreciate that as always, Justin. Always kind words, a kind individual, a wrestling historian. This is not the last time you see Justin joining us on Tru Heel Heat Weekly Podcast.
If the Undertaker comes back, I don't know.
I don't know. He's always out here. He's always lurking. Miss Krssi Love, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me with my good brothers every Saturday live here on Tru Heel Heat, but I might join a roundtable or a watch along. Other than that, I am on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook at Miss Krssi Love 1_Krssi Love and just plain Crystal Lynch.
And Top Guy JJ, where can they find you?
On Instagram, you can find me at Tru Heel _Top Guy JJ. I am on the YouTube channel every week. Anchor podcast right here, Tru Heel Heat with the gang. Roundtables, good stuff, reviews, watch-alongs. But Krssi, come on, boo! You the king of the dark side review. What's up? You the queen of the dark side review.
Yes, we plugged that earlier in the episode, but we can plug it again. SP and I are doing the Dark Side of the Ring season, the finish of season 3. We did episode the plane ride from hell. We'll probably do a plane ride from hell again and hell again in probably a couple of weeks too. Who knows? But this we'll be doing it every week on Fridays. So, yep.
Yes, that's up on the channel right now. You can definitely check it out right after we're done. Justin showing us his picture.
All right, I got my 1989 Sting that I took on my little handheld camera.
Wow.
That picture aged well.
Look at the stinger. Look at the stinger with the white and black back then. Okay. You can follow me on Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. You can also follow the gang on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. And like I said before, yes, some of his greatest work. There's a bunch of great content to enjoy on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. We had a bunch of people joining us that are new to the channel. Definitely hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. Tomorrow we go live with AE Ramble with myself, Jimmy Macaram, and Marcus Cash reviewing AEW Dynamite from this past week in detail. So check that out for sure. On Monday, we got True Rewind, episode 56, where we're going to be reviewing In Your House, Beware of Dog. Myself and Romeo will be in the DeLorean once again, and we're going to be joined by Sat E Nyangi of Wrestling Daily. You can also see on Monday night, of course, Rated Raw Superstars with Romeo and Drunk Guy JJ reviewing Monday Night Raw. Tuesday, you got the review of NXT 2.0 on NX3. There is a bunch of great content to enjoy, and of course the weekly podcast here on Saturdays. Next week, it's a big 2-week punch from Tru Heel Heat, as we're gonna have interview extraordinaire, Emmy Award winner Chris Van Vliet joining us on Tru Heel Heat 144 next week. So join us here live 11:05 a.m. Eastern time as Chris Van Vliet will join us. And then the following week on October 2nd, the wrestling legend, wrestler, and manager, We the People, the former Zeb Coulter, the former Uncle Zebediah, Dutch Mantel will join us on Tru Heel Heat 145. So hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified, drop a like on this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family. If you're watching on demand, let us know in the comment section below what you thought about this podcast. So for our special guest, Justin Clapper, for Miss Krssi Love, for Top Guy JJ, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 143, the grand rebrand, history from hell. We are signing off until next time.
Peace out.
Step